Welcome to Week 3 of Tiger Football on the AHS Sports Network. We are here at Cooper Field on the beautiful campus of Ardmore High School for tonight's 5A Region 7 matchup between the Ardmore Tigers and the Priceville Bulldogs. I am Coach Patrick Cornell, here again with you this week, and back joined by popular demand, my partner in crime, Coach Brian O'Donnell. Coach, glad to have you back this week. I'm sure the folks at home are glad to not have to hear my voice for the entire 3-hour broadcast.
No, we are thrilled to death. Had a great time the first week. We appreciate everybody that watched and all the positive comments that we received and our partners over here received. It's always fun to do this and fun to be able to just be a small part of just being able to present the game to everybody. And so we're excited to be able to tee off and go 2-0, looking to get to 3-0 against Priceville Bulldogs in Week 1 of region play.
Coach, it's kind of been a little bit of a great few weeks for the Tigers. We're coming in on a high note, 2 big wins. You know, you and I had the pleasure of talking with Coach Snyder for a little bit this week about a few things. This week's game, last week's game, a little bit about the region. But, you know, we asked him how did he feel about last week's game heading into Week 1 of region play. And I think we have that audio here for you in just a second.
Yeah, and as we get to that, you know, he's always with the coach's mind looking to correct some things. But when you can go out and do a lot of the things that we did, that's huge and goes a long way. So we'll go ahead and turn it over to that now.
We didn't have the greatest week of practice this week, and then all of a sudden, I'm taking back. I'm thinking, man, this may not be good. But you know, I do feel like that our kids, you know, when we got the ball back, you know, obviously we were able to score quick and then get to a 3 and out, then a fumble recovery, and we scored off of those ensuing possessions as well. So felt like, you know, once we got the offense on the field, we started fast. I do feel like we got a little complacent, a little relaxed in the second quarter. They were doing some things a little differently, and so it gave us some fits, and we sort of got comfortable where we were. And so I feel like our kids came back. They answered a challenge at halftime. You know, our offensive staff made some adjustments, and they answered a challenge and came back out and you know, really put them away in the third quarter, which is always a good sign when you come out of halftime and adhere to the adjustments that were made and then go execute. So I felt like we learned a lot about our football team. I know the score may not indicate that, but I feel like we did. And so looking forward to tonight.
I think he hits the nail on the head right there in his interview. You know, they punch us in the mouth early, and really for the first time all year, we faced a little bit of adversity. The offense came right back out and drove down the field, had a really, really quick start in the first quarter, and then kind of things went awry a little bit. We drove the ball down the field, had a couple of interceptions, just kind of stopped all over the place. But really, other than a few special teams miscues, I thought we played well last week as a whole. Coach, I know you went back and got to watch a little bit of the film. Was that kind of what you saw as well?
No, you're exactly right. And I can just tell you from a perspective of just, you know, being a coach, you want to face adversity early before you get to region play. And then as you get into region play, when it's coming at you fast and you've already faced that adversity, you're already a little bit step ahead of the game. And, you know, it was good. We talk about the two-headed monster with Xavion and Javian Riddle. And Xavion, when he's on like he was last week, you know, he was our offensive player of the week. He had 4 rushes for 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. Had a little bit of adversity himself. He took a hard hit. And, you know, he kind of had to get back at it after he took his hit and came back and had some big runs, a couple hurdles. As you see right here, you know, a great cut right there, made a few moves. And you can tell with him and what he's doing right there, you know, he's leaning forward. Right here you'll see the hurdle coming up. Well, actually, no, he just takes it to the house right there. But, Coach, you can see right there when you have breakaway speed like that, you know, you're a home run hitter any chance you get the ball.
You know, Coach, we talked about it a little bit when we were watching this film back this week. Reminds me a little bit, his running style, kind of, you know, don't want to compare him to obviously one of the better running backs in Alabama football history, but runs a little bit like Trent Richardson. I mean, he's low to the ground, very powerful, but when the time comes for him to put the foot in the ground, nobody's going to catch him, and it's great to have that two-headed monster in the backfield. But we wouldn't have been able to do what we did last week without our defense, and kind of one of the guys that I wanted to talk about this week was our defensive player of the week, which was Azriel Lozano. Now, he only had 5 tackles and 1 tackle for loss, Coach, but I know we called his name a lot in the first game of the year, and he just constantly was in the backfield disrupting things. So the stats may not necessarily say how vital he was to the game plan last week, but let's take a look at him. Right here, you're going to see him get in the backfield very, very quickly. And boom, right there, just blow up a play. We stretch it to the outside, and he's in the backfield, just taking away any type of opportunity for the run game of Clements last week to get things going.
And that's a huge thing. Coach Snyder talked about with the amount of guys we lost off last year's defense. We had to have some guys step up. And Azriel has always kind of been a guy through middle school, and as he got to JV last year, that they said, this is going to be one that we can really, we think he's got a chance to be really good. And you'll see the pressure right here that causes the interception. He's just one of a few that for us to be successful this year, he's going to have to be able to make plays and on those big third downs get our defense off the field. So great for Azriel, the whole defense, and you'll see one last little clip of Azriel right here. And so, he's a big part. Probably be calling his name a lot tonight, and just excited for what he's been able to do so far this year.
Yes, sir. Now, coming into tonight's game, both the Tigers and the Bulldogs are 2-0, two real dominant performances. Obviously, we know what our Tigers did. Priceville beat Columbia in Week 1 53-6, and they beat Brewer in Week 2 40-13. I don't really know what to expect from the Bulldogs this week, but again, as we said, we were able to sit down with Coach Snyder, and he had a little bit to say about what our keys to the game this week were going to be, and he listed two things right off the bat that were going to be key for us. I think we have that audio from him as well.
I'm not one to make predictions. I do feel like that our region, top to bottom, is as competitive as any region. I feel like we've had a really good week of practice. I feel like our kids have been locked in. It hadn't been perfect. You don't want it to be perfect. You want the perfection to happen on Friday night. But I feel like our kids understand. They've been through this before. I feel like they understand exactly what's at stake and how important this game is. I do think Priceville's a much better football team than they were last year. Obviously, year two under Coach Parker, and he didn't lose any of his coaching staff. And, so that was huge to build a program when you can do that. And I feel like that they have created themselves an identity offensively where they're going to be downhill running team, a little bit of option here and there, but they're going to line up and try to impose their physical will on you. And to this point, they have to their opponents. And so, we've got to match that on both sides of the ball. They're very aggressive defensively. They get after you. They're fast flowing to the football. And, I feel like they're substantially better than they were last year. So our kids can't hinge last year's success on whether or not that's going to mean anything this time. It's good to be in this position to where, early in the year, it means something, but it really does mean a lot. Playoff implications, even week one of the region play. But Priceville comes in, we gotta strap it up and match their physicality.
And he says it, really quickly, and we have it right up there. Keys to the game: stop the run. Last year, Priceville gouged us quite a little bit with the run, and actually, when they decided to pass the ball, we had some success defensively getting stops in the red zone, and they just went away from the run, and so it ended up being a Tiger victory. But we've got to out-physical them. If they're going to be successful, they're going to try to impose their will, and thankfully for us, we've got some big bodies there on that defensive line with Aiden Ellis, Taylor Davis, Landon Combs, McKnight's going to be down there. I think it's going to be a great matchup tonight.
You're exactly right. With that defensive line, Coach Priceville does a really good job with those guys, and they imposed their will last week, and looking for them to do that this week. And Coach Snyder said, about week 7 or week 8 for them, it may have been against West Point, they really figured out, what they need to do. It doesn't have to be pretty. Just put a helmet on a helmet and really run the ball, and they found success with that at the end of the year. And I think they're really leaning into that this year and looking to do that tonight. So, that's going to be big for us to be able to stop that early, get them into passing situations, and hopefully let our guys go after them and let the secondary kind of ball hawk and hopefully get a couple interceptions, because they do want to really run it. And I won't say they're not comfortable passing it, but they really want to run it. So it's going to be big tonight if we can really stop that run, stay, where we need to be at defensively and not over pursue and be able to just stay not on our heels and just attack and do things to be able to get them in 3rd and longs or where they're going to have to pass it.
Yes, sir, I agree. Well, the Tigers are making their way out of the Robert E. Witt Fieldhouse over here to our left, led out by Coach Snyder, hoping to have the captains here to the 50-yard line here shortly. Your Tigers are going to be in the all blacks tonight with the gold uniforms. Priceville will be in the all whites with the black numbers, but the yellow helmets. And Coach, I'm really thankful that the Tigers are a Vegas gold color, because no matter how you look at those Priceville helmets, while they may pop, I'm just not a fan of that yellow. And maybe it's just me being here at Ardmore High School and not liking our opponents, but I'm not a big fan of that yellow on the Priceville helmets.
If people say, what exactly is Vegas gold, you can say, well, it's not that Priceville yellow. It's a little bit darker, a little bit nicer, a little bit, I don't know what the N word would be for the cool kids now, but it really pops. And, those jerseys are very nice, the Tigers in cursive right there. I'll take our Vegas gold over the yellow any day of the week.
Yes, sir. So, obviously, we have our captains here getting to the 50-yard line. Captains from right to left, number 1, Noah Stafford, number 43, Jack Rush, number 99, Gabe Alejandro, and number 72, you're hopefully going to hear his name called a lot tonight, Big Aiden Ellis. Those are your 4 captains tonight for the Tigers, who will go out at midfield for the coin toss. And again this week, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully we will have video and sound for you there, the coin toss. Priceville's captains coming out currently looking from left to right. We have number 10, Jack Eubanks, number 14, Bronson Carroll, number 54, just a second, Cole Oliver, and number 6, Sheldon Graham. Oh, and I forgot number 2, Hudson Eubanks as well. So those are the 5 captains for Priceville to our 4. They will head to midfield here shortly for the kickoff. Now, Coach, special teams the last couple weeks has been crucial from the jump. We returned the opening kickoff week 1 against Tanner, turn around, let the Clements Colts return the opening kickoff last week. If the odds are in our favor, and I'm not saying I'm a betting man, but with the Powerball the way that it is, I might go put a little bit of money. There's a chance tonight that if the trend continues, the Tigers should, if we get the opening kickoff, return the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Now, I know it's not going to work out like that, but boy, that would be a really great start for our Tigers if that's the case.
Well, Coach, and if we do have to kick it, I'm kicking it. We may have to take the 15-yard penalty. I'm not going to jinx it. I'm one of those guys that I look at all that kind of stuff. I'm just kicking it, whether it's out of bounds or out of the back of the end zone. But in games like this and region matchups, when it's going to be every little thing matters. That's going to be a big thing tonight. Is special teams, and we've had some big special teams highlights the first 2 weeks, and so I feel very confident in our staff and our players that we put out there on special teams, and looking for them to make a big play tonight with Noah Stafford possibly making to be able to make a play.
We're going to take it down to the field, and y'all can hear, hopefully, if we have to talk over it, we can, but let's take it down to the field so y'all can hear what's going on here at the coin toss.
Please, relate to your teammates. When you hit a whistle, stop. You don't need to push yourself out. Okay, so you're the visiting team person. When I ask you, give me heads or tails, that's my form of 50 minutes. I want you to see it short. Hey, gentlemen, here's my coin. It's going to be heads or tails. Heads, tails. Which one would you like to show? What is it? And it's head. So you can kick, receive, shoot, or go, and receive. Okay. You understand, okay. Which goal would you like? Okay, put your back to the scoreboard, put your back facing him. Just spin around, guys. Spin around.
There you go, fellas. Right here, black. Right here, black. Right here, black. Right here.
Toss up the coin, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so it looks like our Tigers won the opening toss, and a bold strategy from Coach Snyder right there. He wants the ball. Like he said in that interview, he wants the Tigers to set the tone early, and I think this is a great opportunity right off the jump for the Tigers to punch them in the mouth.
You're exactly right, and, Coach Wells does a really good job. Our whole offensive staff does. And, they're going to have a really good game plan on this first drive, 15 to 20 plays that he's probably got out. And so when you can be able to hopefully take the ball, go down and score and really put them, in a pressure situation, that's going to be really big. And I know they're thinking it that way as our Tigers come out. And hopefully we will get a good drive to start and get on the scoreboard as we get going.
Yes, sir. And we would be remiss if we didn't thank our 2025 championship sponsors of Ardmore football, Westco Incorporated, Ardmore Auto, Douthit Construction, Ruderman, Woody Anderson Ford, Elite Sanitation, Jarrett Walker Construction, Butler Realty, North Alabama Bank, Mark Lee Insurance, First National Bank, Ardmore Cabinet, and Fowler Auction. Thank you again for supporting Ardmore football and everything you do. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we will turn to the flag for our national anthem. Always good to hear the Pride of the State Line Band belting out the national anthem. So thankful for them and the way that they play both at halftime and in the stands to keep the fans going. But here we go, folks. It's time.
Yeah, it is. This is what you this is kind of the season in the season. These are the games that at the end of the year you look at the big region games to be able to get you to the playoffs. So you are. This is where the second season starts for us, and so we're 0-0 tonight, and Priceville's 0-0, and we're looking to get to 1-0 in region play and get a leg up and possibly having a chance to be able to get into the playoffs yet again.
Yes, sir. Looks like Landon Byer will be on to do the kicking for the Bulldogs, going right to left from the home press box, back deep to receive for your Tigers. As always, Noah Stafford, different face back there tonight, number 6. Our key player from last week, Xavion Hawthorne, one of the two-headed monsters. And hoping for good things. Looks to be a left-footed kick here from Byer, so we'll see how that goes for our guys back deep. Waiting on the clock to be set for kickoff at this point. That's all we are waiting on here. Everybody else is set, and then at that point we will get things going.
Now, I'm not trying to speed the game up or rush it or anything, but with that rain coming in, we want to play as clean a football as we can before the rain gets here. So we got to get this we want to get this thing on the road right here. But really excited. Got Jalen also over there looks like on the 20. He's Logan Newman, 2 really good athletes. If they get it, they can make some noise with it as well. Looks like it's going to go to Xavion Hawthorne, though.
And that's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. Probably a great decision right there for Xavion. I know that you want to go and do something very quickly, but at the same time, let's not risk anything. Let's take the ball. We'll get started with the CB&S Bank first down for your Tigers. Alex King out to operate the offense, and we'll get a first look right here at the defense for Priceville. Got some pretty good-looking kids out there. I mean, some height On the back end, going to be interesting to see a couple of our receivers challenge them. Big number 71 there on the defensive line, John Scott Christman, hoping for the offensive line to hold up and do what they need to do here as King comes out, Riddle behind him, Hawthorne out wide, along with Stafford, Jack Rush in tight. And we'll let this first play go, and then we will get your starting lineups here for the Tigers.
This is really good right here. You get your second of the two-headed monsters kind of out right here. You may get a little bit of misdirection, a jet sweep, either hand it to Xavion or fake it and give it to Riddle. There's just so many options you can do right here, and so I really like how we kind of come out right here on first down, see what we do right here.
King gets the ball to Hawthorne. He gets stretched out, looks to turn the corner, just can't do it. Tackle made right there by number 10, Jack Eubanks. That's going to bring up second down and 11. I like the play design right there, but just a great job by the Bulldogs stretching that out. Here we have the starting lineups for your Tigers. Offensively, we're going to have Brady Certain, Will Seabrolt, Landon Snyder, Landry Rubley, and Braden Billions. Jack Rush at tight end, Xavion and Javian at running back. Pass complete right there to Javian Riddle. Tackle made by number 44, Colby Kukuk. Quarterback Alex King, your wide receivers, Noah Stafford and Caden Larson. Going to bring up third down and 6. Big third down right here for the Tigers. Glad to get a little bit of field position back right there by King as we got going.
Yeah, and right here, this is where you win games and lose games. If you can, on offense, get the third down conversions and continue the drive, that goes a long way right here. He's
King rolls out. Pass is complete right there. Great grab by Caden Larson. They are going to call it a completion for a CB&S Bank first down. It'll be 1st and 10 Tigers from the 31-yard line. Like you said, Coach, one of the keys to the game is going to be staying on the field when you get in third down situations. And Alex King looks like he's been running the offense the first 2 weeks smooth as can be.
Yeah, he did. That's a great rollout right there, thrown across his body with a lot of power into that throw. And Caden kind of sticking just keeping there and sticking his nose in, getting the ball, taking a hit, and falling forward and getting a first down. That's what we like to see.
Interesting formation right here. Xavion is going to be moved up to the line. Handoff goes to Riddle. He sticks his foot in the ground, but he is met by a group of Bulldogs there. I'm going to say number 11, Jay Patel, I believe, on the tackle, going to bring up 2nd and 10. The Bulldogs are swarming. They know this two-headed monster's there, and they're attacking it.
You're exactly right, and they're saying, you're going to have to beat us another way besides JV and Riddle handing the ball off or getting the ball and running right here. So I think we can do it. We'll see. A little
hard count right there. Almost got him to jump. I like that call right there from Coach Wales. Any way you can get free yardage is a great way to do it right here. Ball goes back to Riddle. Follows his block right there from number 70, Landry Rubley, but it is a short gain. Tackle made by number 10, Jack Eubanks, going to bring up 3rd and long. Had some success when King threw last time on 3rd down, but you really don't want to be in 3rd and behind the sticks the whole game.
No, you're exactly right. We did a really good job. Looks like we're kind of where the placement's at. We can roll left or right. Alex seems to do really well when he's rolling. Hopefully we can get our guys open right here, get a couple looks. We got Noah right here, possibly running a post or getting something. It looks like he's got single coverage out here. We might can get him a play.
You love to see Noah Stafford in single coverage, no matter who the defensive back is. They could be all world, but, man, I love to see it. And, yeah, they are throwing it to him. King lets the ball go. Hands are all over Stafford, but no flag. My goodness, there were hands all over him for about 10 yards. If that was us in that scenario, I'm calling it good coverage. But with Priceville, I felt like it was a little handsy. But if that's how the referees are going to call it, it better be called both ways.
You're exactly right. Very physical right there. And not saying, Noah was physical as well. But, boy, that guy had his hands on him for a long time just battling. And, Wish we could have got that call and continued to move the ball, but, a little bit of momentum. We'll get back over here on the drawing board, kind of figure out what we need to do as Gabe gets ready to punt it.
Larson with the long snap, Alejandro with the punt. Great punt right there. Going to punt it. Oh, and we're going to get a great roll. Didn't go for it. I don't really like that call from Priceville. Maybe the way that it was knuckling, didn't want to go for it, but the Ardmore got the roll right there, and we're down just inside the 15-yard line. I think that's all you can ask right there from Alejandro. Flip the field and force the Bulldogs to go a long way.
No, you're exactly right, and that's just such a huge momentum thing when you go from getting the ball on about the 25 to 30, and now it's all the way back further. Good starting for us as far as on the defense where we're at, but we'll turn it over and get the starting lineups up and then see if this defense can fly around a little bit.
Starting lineups tonight for your defense, number 8, Tyler McKnight, number 72 or 79, Aiden Ellis 72, Taylor Davis 79, Landon Combs number 77, Austin Kanzler number 4, number 25 Lucas Green, number 9 Azriel Lozano, 21 Jalen Smith. Your corners, number 11, Caden Kyle, and number 1, Noah Stafford. And back at safety, you have Logan Newman and Ronnie Pilot. Logan Newman flew around last week looking to take heads. And I think if we're going to be physical tonight, Logan Newman's presence is going to have to be felt at some point. He just looks for contact and is not afraid to take those hits. Graham on the keeper. Forced out of bounds by number 25, Lucas Green. That's going to bring up second down and looks to get right back to the original line of scrimmage. Looks like Lozano was in there as well. Probably the first one to get there, finished off by Lucas Green. But that's a great job of stretching that play out for the Tigers.
No, that's a really good job. I kind of thought right there we may have got kind of screened a little bit, but he was able to bounce out and still make the play and drag it out and get some help and get him driven out of bounds for a second down right here.
Graham is flanked in the backfield by Madewell and Carroll. Handoff goes to Carroll. Tackle made by number 8, Tyler McKnight. That's going to bring up third down and 5 for the Bulldogs. And again, here's the big key to the game. Can we get off the field on third down and be physical? Aiden Ellis in there in the middle is going to be a load for them to handle. Let's see if the Tigers can get off the field right here.
Be really curious right here to see what they're going to do. We talked about their bread and butter being running the ball. 3rd and 5 right here. Do they line up and do they run it, or do they try to pass it? And this might tell the tale for what we might see a lot out of them tonight.
Sweep action going to the right-hand side of the great job of stretching the defense right there by number 24, Xavion Camel. Coach, did you see who made that tackle? I got blocked right here by the
it looked like maybe Ronnie Pilot.
Ronnie Pilot, great job getting over there making the tackle. But
Ronnie Pilot.
A great job of holding blocks right there for the Bulldogs, just stretching it out and letting him get to the edge. But I think that's what we're going to see, Coach. You said it. That's going to be their bread and butter. Can we handle that misdirection and get those stops on third down?
Yeah, just again, a good job by the receivers down there blocking and being able to stretch it out and get a little first down. So try to get some momentum back. We got our first third down conversion, and then hopefully if we get back to a third down on this next one, we can get a stop right here as there's a flag on the field.
Looks like an illegal shift to me. There's a lot of movement going on there on the Bulldog line, a lot of readjustment going on. I think somebody either jumped or I really don't know what happened, but that flag came in from the judge, and so it's going to be 1st and 15. And anytime that the referees can help us in a positive setting, we will take it, especially with the way that first set of downs went for the Bulldogs. Graham hands the ball off here to number 14, Bronson Carroll. Tackle made by number 9, Azriel Lozano, and number 25, Lucas Green, brings up second down and 8 for the Bulldogs. They're looking to impose their will, and right now that right side of that offensive line for the Bulldogs is having their way with our defensive ends. Handoff again goes to Carroll. Tackle made again by Lucas Green. First met right there by number 14, Logan Newman. Like we said, Newman's going to have to lay the boom from his safety spot, and he's going to have to make Carroll feel it as we go along. and that's going to be a timeout on the field, our first Heat timeout of the night. 5:58 to go in the game, or in the quarter, and it is tied 0-0. Coach, I think we're going to just stay with the broadcast here as we go to this timeout. A lot of movement from the Bulldogs right now. I don't know if it's throwing off our guys. I mean, we look like we're in good position, but that offensive line's doing a good job of getting a body on a body, and these holes for Carroll, the running back, have been pretty substantial.
They are, and with the way they've done this, it's third and, what do you say, 2 or 3 probably, and you're probably, running this play, I'm looking at it, I'm probably going to take it and, just run it up the middle with the thought of, we may go for it on 4th down right here. And so you got 2 plays to get 3 yards. And so you wonder what they're doing in the timeout right here and how they're kind of devising it up. But again, we talk about it. 3rd down, you got to be able to get off the field. And it's good that we kind of got a little heat break right there to be able to settle, let Coach Snyder, Coach Holt get out there and kind of talk to the guys and kind of reset and get a good plan going forward for this big 3rd down. And hopefully we can get a big stop and hopefully make them have to make a decision on what to do and hopefully punt it back to us. So very interested right here on this 3rd down.
Graham's in the backfield again. Handoff goes to Carroll, and they just gashes us again right there. Just tough sled and tackle made by number 10, Caden Kyle. But Carroll is running with a head full of steam north and south. And right now the physicality of the Bulldogs is boding well for them.
It is. Now they're starting to play with a little bit of pace.
Carroll gets the handoff again. Great job by Noah Stafford getting a hand on the ankle, knee, cleat, something to trip him up. Otherwise, it looked like Carroll might have taken it to the house right there. Coach, I know that timeout probably came at a good time, and I can think what they're saying. Hey, we're going to have to stop Carroll at some point tonight, but it looks like we're about to have the second of what could be the 2-headed monster for Priceville as well. Colton Madewell comes into the backfield as a changeup. Not quite as thick as Carroll, but I'm sure that he's going to be looking to get north and south very, very quickly. Great job by Landon Combs just holding his spot right there, making the tackle on number 21, Madewell. Our defensive line's going to have to play well tonight with the way that this offensive line from Priceville's playing.
And just the way that they're sending guys in motion with the sweeps, it keeps you off balance, and it softens you up to the middle a little bit because you have to worry about, the sidelines and making sure we contain. And that's kind of left us a little bit open in the middle, and that's what this type of offense is designed to do, and to use all the space on the field. And so, got a big play right there on first, and hopefully another one right here.
Madewell with the carry again. McKnight, great job. Looks like we have a flag on the play. McKnight did a great job of chasing down behind the play and making that tackle. Going to be 3rd down, but there was a flag behind the play. Looked like it might be in the area of holding. Coach, I'm not 100% sure there, but I think that and there it is. Hold on the Bulldogs. That's going to make it 2nd down and 18. Coach, it's amazing how quick this first quarter's going by. It's 4:07 left already. Not a lot of penalties. Both teams like to run the ball. Possessions are going to be at a premium right here. Would be huge if the Tigers could get a couple stops right here and get the ball back.
Yeah, hopefully this will kind of give us a second win, have them playing way behind the chains right here. Hopefully, if they throw it right here, we can limit their gain or even get an incompletion and really put a lot of pressure on them on 3rd and long.
Graham's going to run it himself. Big Aiden Ellis back there disrupting. Oh, we got to make some tackles. Logan Newman, my goodness, coming up from his safety spot, laying the boom right there. But I think number 77, Landon Combs, is going to be credited with that tackle. But great job, like we said, by Logan Newman, just making Graham feel, hey, if you're going to run that ball, you're going to get hit tonight. Brings up 3rd and long. Coach, like you said, great time for a potential pass. Or do they stick with the bread and butter right here because they have been tearing us up a little bit?
I would still, in games and situations like this, I'm looking at maybe trying to get half the yardage right here, get it, 4th and short, maybe give an opportunity to go for it on 4th. But, hopefully we can get a big stop right here and really have to make them earn it.
Yes, sir. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it was. We had a jump right there on the Priceville offensive line. Was afraid that we weren't going to get that call, but great job down here by our line judge on the Ardmore sideline. That's going to back them up 5 yards. Coach, at this point, if you're running, I think all you're doing is trying to get a chunk, and maybe you can pin us back inside the 5 or the 10-yard line on the punt right here. Or, I mean, I saw him in warm-ups. Yeah. I think Graham can make the throw if they have to, but I just don't know if they're going to be comfortable doing it.
Yeah, in a situation like this, it's going to be kind of a field position type game, and if you pin us deep and just say, hey, you're going to have to drive it down the field, that might be an option right here. But again, we got to get a big stop right here and make them force a decision.
And they are going to throw it, and Graham has a cannon. My goodness, right there. Great job in coverage, and they are going to let the boys play.
Yep.
It looks like that's going to be the name of the game today. Who can out-physical one another on the outside? Great pass breakup right there by Caden Kyle. I almost thought that coverage was a little bit worse than what wasn't called down here, and they didn't call it, so we'll take it. Brings up 4th down from the Tiger 47-yard line. I'm assuming Priceville's going to punt here.
You would think so right here. And Caden's a good-sized kid, and, I mean, he was with him step for step. He didn't get his head around, but there was not a ton of contact, a little bit, but not enough to call it. And we can get them off the field and get our offense back going right here. Really excited. Out of the back of the end zone. Great job by Noah right there, making it look like he was fixing to field it. They all ran to him. And even if it would have hit, they probably wouldn't have had time to get down there. But to leave no doubt right there, really good job right there by our return group. And now we get the offense back on the field, hopefully get the run game going, get some momentum, and hopefully drive down the field as we, deep into this 2:27 left in the first quarter. It is flying by, like you said, Coach.
Yes, sir, it is. And you love to see our offense getting back on the field. I know that Coach Wales learned a lot probably from that first set of plays. Obviously, we didn't get too far down in the playbook. So I'm sure he's got some stuff still up his sleeve if he wants. But you're going to see that defensive line of Priceville is going to force us to have to out-physical them on the offensive line if we're going to want Riddle or Hawthorne to run the ball. But I do like King's ability to make a throw if he has to right here. Snap goes to King. Handoff goes to Riddle. And there he is. There's the Javian Riddle that we know and love, following his blocks. Tackle made right there by number 3, Caden Carty. Result of the plays is CB&S Bank, 1st down for your Tigers. And here we go. We're going fast. There it is again. Boom. Number 54, Cole Oliver on the tackle right there. I like the idea. Get up to the line. You punch him in the mouth, punch him again. Just didn't work out right there for the Tigers. Brings up 2nd and 12. And here we go. This is Riddle's run right here to get us the 1st down. And this is the Javian Riddle we know, Coach. Right here, following his blocks, the offensive line. Here we go, 2nd and 12 right here. King flanked by Riddle. Great job of completing that pass right there to Noah Stafford. He's going to cut down the distance. That's going to bring up 3rd down. And a long 5, Coach. If it looks to me on the other side that it's the 40's not necessarily the mark. It's a little bit past that. So we do have a long 5 right here on 3rd down. But good to see King complete that pass.
Yeah, just really good timing route right there. A little slant. Noah called it, took the hit. They gave him forward progress right there. And really good possession, good play right there to be able to get us in a 3rd and manageable and hopefully get a little 1st down right here.
A lot of screaming going on down there. I hope they know that we're on offense. Oh, Xavion.
Look at here.
Oh, my goodness. Look at Xavion Hawthorne. Coach, I thought for sure that when he cut back that play was going to go down for a loss, and next thing you know, flag is waved off. That's great. That's great. CB&S Bank 1st down. Coach, I thought it was a loss. I'm over here talking bad about it. Next thing I know, we're 20, 30 yards down the field.
Just pure athleticism right there. Really good job by Xavion. And the line to still continue to block on that. So big. Now we've flipped the field. We're on their side. Hopefully, be able to get going downhill right here. There we go.
King swings it out to Stafford. Stafford sticks his foot in the ground. Great block out there by number 13, Caden Larson. And Stafford gets about 7 right there. Going to bring up 2nd down and 3 for the Tigers. I know we talk about it. Our 2-headed monster in the backfield is a big thing, but with Alex King spinning the ball like he's spinning it, that may be where we have to go tonight. I'm sorry we missed that replay right there, but yeah, you saw Xavion stick his foot in the ground and head back to the other side of the field. And again, great job by the line, like you said, just continuing to play until the whistle blows.
And a great job by Jack for not crackbacking right there and just, shielding himself to where the guy couldn't hit him, but no contact where they wouldn't call a penalty right there and not negate the big play that we just had.
Yes, sir. And really quickly before we head into our first break of the evening, let's recognize our 2025 championship sponsors: Westco Incorporated, Ardmore Auto, Douthat Construction, Ruderman, Woody Anderson Ford, Elite Sanitation, Jarrett Walker Construction, Butler Realty, North Alabama Bank, Mark Lee Insurance, First National Bank, Ardmore Cabinet, and Fowler Auction. Thank you for all that you do for Ardmore football, and we will head into a break at the end of the first quarter. It's Tigers 0, Bulldogs 0 here on the AHS Sports.
Bank is a name everyone in the community will recognize. We see it in our schools, in our parks, and in our homes. First National Bank is proud to help make our community great. I am First National Bank Vice President Crystal Tucker, and together with my team, we have over 120 years of hometown banking experience. We love to help represent First National Bank in our community, and we would love to be your banking partner. First National Bank, making communities great.
We'd like to welcome you back to the AHS Sports Network as we get the second quarter started. And we will get the second quarter started with our weekly trivia question, sponsored by Lindsay Lane Baptist Church. The question is, since the year 2000, how many times have your Ardmore Tigers advanced to the AHSAA playoffs? Again, since the year 2000, how many times have your Ardmore Tigers advanced to the AHSA playoffs? We'd like to thank you again to Lindsay Lane Baptist Church for sponsoring the trivia question for this week.
Would love to see all of you guys in the comments. Coach and I know that we looked this up today as we were trying to grade this, and we weren't necessarily surprised, but the number was a little bit different than what we thought it might be. And here's a great wrinkle right here. When you have a 200-pound quarterback and you got two big running backs like you have in Javian and Xavion, it's nice to see King run the ball, and that's going to be enough for a CB&S Bank first down. You don't want Alex to do it a lot, but when you have that type of wrinkle, especially in a second and short, third and short scenario, go ahead and put it on his back and let him get that first down.
A big, thick kid right here, and he runs with a head of steam, and he lowers that shoulder. He says, I'm the quarterback, but, hey, I'll lower my shoulder, and I'll fall forward, and we got a big first down right there and a good gain. Good push by the offensive line right there. 1st and 10 for the Tigers from the 24-yard line. Riddle is the deep back. And Jack Rush into the end zone. Great play fake, bitten on by the entire defensive line and linebacker core. Jack Rush runs wide open, and King just lays the ball into his hands for a North Alabama Bank touchdown. And with 11:22 to go in the half, Ardmore has taken the lead 6-0. Coach, we said it all night. That's going to be the bread and butter of your Tigers, is going to be that running game. But King has been throwing the ball exceptionally well. Just a great job right there. I think we saw that play against Tanner with Jack catching it, falling a little short of the goal line. But just a great play, great touch on it, good little run and score. And we are, after this kick, hopefully up 7-0.
We are. Snyder with the long snap, Larson doing the holding, and Alejandro doing the kicking. And here we go to the replay. Watch this right here, Coach. He's going to fake the handoff. Everybody bites, and look at Jack Rush, man. Nobody's there, and he just walks into the end zone behind the safeties. It's a great feeling, and great job by Jack of staying locked in, knowing he had a lot of green grass in front of him.
Just, really, really good pass right there. A lot of good touch on it. And there was a little bit of pressure, but he got his feet set, threw it, put some touch on it, didn't rush it. As you would expect a junior with a few years of experience starting to be able to do. And, man, that's big to be up 7-0. Now we can kind of pin our ears back, hopefully, and get a stop and hopefully get the ball back. And, man, great start to the second quarter right here. And we will get ready to kick off just here in a couple seconds.
Yes, sir. Alejandro doing the kicking. Back deep to receive for the Bulldogs, number 21, Colton Madewell. and number 9, Uriah Burnham. Coach, I believe the word of the night for that drive might be finesse from one Alex King, because he had to make a couple short passes in coverage and just laid them right in there for the wide receivers to catch, and look at us on the board up 7-0 right there.
Yeah, just big time right there. Just huge start, be able to get a touchdown. Little
squib kick right there. Ball's on the ground. The Bulldogs do manage to fall on it. Recovery made by number 44, Kobe Kukuk, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs from the 39-yard line. That was almost chaotic right there. But would you expect anything less when special teams gets on the field for your Tigers?
No, you're exactly right. And in that situation, you're not expecting a kind of a squib onside. And so you don't have your hands team out there. So you got a guy that's normally a blocker that you're asking to catch a ball that's bouncing when you don't normally do that. And so that is very stressful. And you saw that it almost paid dividends for the Tigers right there.
It did. Direct snap right here to Madewell. It looked like Landon Combs was holding on for dear life. He just kept gaining ground. Going to bring up 2nd and 3 for the Bulldogs. Interesting strategy right there with Graham having been out there for most of that first drive. Now they go direct snap to the running back here. Madewell doing the quarterback duties at this point, and it's going to be a direct snap to him again. And he's going to stick that foot in the ground. Great job by Lucas Green just wrapping him up, but not before a first down for the Bulldogs. Madewell's got a little giddy up, Coach. He stuck that foot in the ground, and next thing you know, he's 8 yards down the field.
He did, and he knows where he wants to go, and he hits the hole really hard. And, got a few yards right here. So now we're going to have to adjust a little bit, hopefully get a big stop on this first down and put them behind the sticks again.
Yes, sir. And they've been running behind that big left side of the offensive line. They're doing it again right here. You got that tight end and that B-back up there blocking. Madewell, the ball carrier. Tackle made again by Lucas Green. Lucas Green's name, you're not going to sit there and say, hey, great job, but with the way Madewell's running, if Green doesn't get a hand on him, you never know if he's gone right there. And Priceville's really trying to come back to Ardmore and say, hey, look, you punched us in the mouth right there, but we're going to try and drive it down your throat. And, again, we're going to do what we do. And this is big here possession-wise because 9:45 and running, they get the ball out of halftime. Handoff goes to Carroll, and Carroll gets to the outside. Forced out of bounds right there by number 1, Noah Stafford, coming over from his cornerback spot. Priceville kind of feeling a little bit of momentum right here, going fast, getting Graham off the field and just saying, hey, here's our 2 running backs. We're not even going to attempt to throw it. You've just got to stop us. And everything has been going left. Everything's been going left. And I know you don't want to sell out because next thing you know, they're going to stick the foot in the ground and go right. But that must be where the bread and butter, and big 71 there on the offensive line, John Scott Crisp. I know we talked about him on the defensive line. He's just lead blocking right there at guard, and they're falling right behind him.
Yeah, just tough right there running. Got 2 kind of sniffers right there that they're letting lead the way along with their running backs. So,
and here we go, just like we said, he's going back to the right. Great job right there, Ronnie Pilot with the tackle. Coach, I unfortunately think that this might be against the Tigers. It looked like it was in the area of a horse collar tackle, but I just didn't see that. But I think that's what the call is going to be. It is. And so that's going to add on probably half the distance from the end of the run. That's going to put 1st and goal for the Bulldogs inside the 5-yard line. What a response from Priceville here. I mean, great job by Coach Parker and his offensive staff, not batting an eye after the Tigers go down and score. But, hey, the big thing is they're not in the end zone yet. The Tigers could get a stop right here, and you never know what can happen. Madewell back again in at quarterback, flanked by Carroll. Great job by Landon Combs getting through right there. Saw what Coach Holt did. If you notice, he slid Aiden Ellis off of the center and over there on that right-hand or the left-hand side of that line. trying to force a little chaos. Landon Combs is just able to poke through. Coach, great adjustment down there by our defensive coaching staff.
Yeah, really good job. And hey, this is the red territory, and you're going to have to really earn it down here. And we're not going to let them just go in right here. Great first play on first down. Been able to shut off that block, make a great play.
Great job hitting the B button right there by Landon Combs, sticking his foot in the ground. And Graham back in here. Azrael Lozano meets him in the middle, enough to stop him. That's going to bring up 3rd and short. Interesting idea right here. We get in goal to go scenario. Sheldon Graham back in at quarterback. Carroll doing the run-in. Coach, you got to think at this point with 3rd and this distance, unless something crazy happens right here, I don't think field goals are going to win this game. I think it's 2 plays for the Bulldogs to get in the end zone.
No, you're exactly right. And, I just right now you don't really have to be pretty. It's going to be their guys against their guys who can get a good push right here on the line of scrimmage, and hopefully it can be us and we can get a stop right here.
Looks like Coach Parker wants to think it over. Again, kind of a tense moment right here. Down 7-0, 7:56 to go in the half. Knowing you've got 2 plays, maybe they called in something a little bit too risky right there. Coach Parker wants to talk it over. I think it's a good timeout, but at the same time, I think for our defense, it's great. Come over here, get some water, breathe, regroup. No, hey, look, we are where we are. Put a man on a man. If they're better than us, they're better than us. In this scenario, we're going to come right back out on offense and do what we do.
Yeah, I'm kind of the mindset to you don't have to be crazy right here. What you did to get yourself down here, stick with it. And again, we've responded really well. We got a good push right there on the line, and this is going to be 2 big downs right here. You would think probably going to go for it on 4th, but just a really big down right here as you see Coach Snyder getting these guys coached up on what to do, and it's going to be a huge play right here on 3rd down to see, they put a guy in motion right there, and they can kind of freeze you for a second, and you'll be curious to see if they line it up or they put a guy in motion again and see what they do right here.
It does look like Coach Parker is going to keep Graham in the game here at quarterback, going to be flanked by Carroll. Madewell is off the field in its entirety. Might be a small blessing here for the Tigers to not have to worry about both of them. Let's see what we get right here on 3rd down. Snap goes to Graham, hands off to Carroll. Great job. There he is. We talked about him in the pregame. Azrael Lozano flew in to that gap and made a stop. And here it is, Coach. 4th down and goal. What do the Bulldogs do?
Yeah, this is, a lot of pressure for them right here. You want to get something on the board for the drive that you had. And this is a big down right here. This is, we're going to look back on this play probably towards the end of the game if the game is close and say, they either got this or they didn't, and a huge momentum boost for one or the other right here.
Graham flanked by Carroll. Graham's going to run it himself, and he is going to break the plane for a Priceville touchdown. Looked like he might come up short. Great job of lead blocking right there for the Bulldogs. I think we may have it on replay here shortly. Let's see how he got into the end zone here. We do have number 0, Landon Byer, on to do the kicking. We'll get to that replay here after this extra point attempt. Byer's extra point is up, and it's good. And with 7:09 to go in the half, we do have a tie ball game. Folks at home, I think we're going to try and go to this replay, and Graham's going to keep it, and he does get across. I mean, it's close. He goes down right there at the goal line. I mean, you just never know. He stopped a yard short. You hate to be backed up at that point, but I know Coach Snyder would much rather have a 7-0 lead rather than being tied and having special teams come on the field right here. But at the same time, 97 yards is a long way to go, especially with the way that Bulldog defensive line has been playing so far tonight.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And again, got to give Priceville credit right there. They answered hour-long touchdown. And on the road like that, kind of their first, test, I would say, with the first 2 games being blowouts, that was probably a big momentum booster, a little confidence builder for them. And so hey, now it's our turn to be able to get the ball and see what we can do offensively. I felt very much like we were balanced, and we're going to be balanced right here, so we could run it or pass it right here, and I feel confident in doing both.
Coach, I think we're going to go right here after the kickoff. We will go back to our trivia question. I believe we had a couple correct answers in the comments, and we will tell the folks at home, let's let Byers do this kicking here, going left to right from the home press box. Great kick from him to start the game, and it looks to be another one right here, but it is going to be returnable here. Xavion takes it at about the 1 yard line, following his blocks, and Xavion Hawthorne, it looks like he might go. There's a man chasing him. Stick your foot in the ground. Xavion Hawthorne, 99 yards to the house for your Tigers. Xavion Hawthorne. Coach, we took a left hook from the Bulldogs. No laundry on the field, and Xavion Hawthorne says, I was player of the week last week for a reason, and I'm back again this week.
Hey, and special teams again right there. You know, two returns in 3 weeks is, you know, Coach Walters and that group right there, they got to be fired up. Xavion with a great play, great blocking. And, hey, it didn't take very long for us to answer and be able to get back with a North Alabama Bank touchdown and the lead with the pending PAT to put us up 14-7.
Yes, sir. 71, Landon Snyder doing the long snapping, Larson to hold, Alejandro to kick. And, man, again, the two-headed monster is going to wreak havoc on everybody we play this year, and that's just one part of it. Oh, we fumbled the snap right there. Alejandro. Oh, and that should have been, well, I guess the referee called that play dead, but Alejandro did get hit on the ground. Unfortunately, we botched that hold right there. Going to be 13-7 with 6:56 to go. Coach, do we have that answer? Oh, here we go real quick. Sorry, we're going to roll the replay, and here we go. Following his blockers right there. Great job. Jack Rush again. Great block right there on the kicker, and Xavion just sticking his foot in the ground and getting all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. Coach, here we go to you. So, question of the night for our fans at home, sponsored by Lindsay Lane Baptist Church. Since the year 2000, how many times have the Ardmore Tigers advanced the AHSA playoffs? Coach, the answer is?
If you answered with 5, you are correct. And we have correct answers from Anthony Oliver, Michael Luter. We'll give Ginger Dunn credit and say she said 5 or 6, so we'll give her credit, and Bonnie Doherty. So those years were 2004, 2006, 2013, and with our current head coach, Jonathan Snyder, 2021, and last year with 2024. And again, we thank Lindsay Lane Baptist Church for the trivia question this week. And, hey, we got some correct answers on here. We got some people, so congratulations on the correct answer. And we get ready for Gabe Alejandro to kick it off with a 13-7 lead with not much time off the clock. So the defense is going to have to kind of get a second win and get back out there and get ready to play defense a little bit more.
Yes, sir. Alejandro looks to be doing a squib kick again right here. Short kick. Almost worked out in our favor last time. He does kick it short, but he is going to – oh. Well, you hear from the fans right here some questionable thought processes on whether there was a fair catch call. Coach, I'm all behind the Ardmore Tigers right there, but I thought I saw a hand go up, especially in that territory. You can't blame Newman for wanting to go down there if you don't know, but here we go.
And it's just
and there is Newman right there. You almost wish he'd let it go out of bounds because the field position would be a little bit better here, but it is going to start the Bulldogs in Ardmore territory at the 47-yard line. You can't fault Newman for playing hard. Just an unfortunate set of circumstances right there. You have something great happen on special teams and then go make a mistake like that and put the Bulldogs in plus territory. And here we go. And they're just wreaking havoc, and our safeties and our cornerbacks are staying back. There's some holes there in the secondary. Number 10, Jack Eubanks on the direct snap right there, brings up 2nd down and 5. You wonder why Graham's in there in goal to go situations if you're not going to use him otherwise, because Eubanks is listed as the other quarterback. Maybe this is the plan all along, see who has the hot hand and roll with it. But here we go, Priceville back to doing what they were doing right here, sticking their foot in the ground and running downhill on us. Handoff goes to Carroll. Great tackle right there. Great tackle right there. I think it was number 21, Jalen Smith, brings up first down for the Bulldogs. Coach, they're going quick. They're not giving Ardmore a chance to breathe. Handoff goes back to Carroll right here, following his blocks. Great job right there by Tyler McKnight working through his block. And if they're going to go quick, we're going to have to get our feet set and ready to go. Probably another great heat timeout right here for the Tigers.
Well, you saw it. They last possession they went off left side, and they were able to attack from the left side. And now they've kind of started pulling guys to the right, and they've kind of found a spot where they think they can key in and really attack. And like you said, I mean, this heat timeout is huge. It gives us time to settle down. You know, Coach Snyder can get over there, kind of get them reset, identify what they're doing and where they're finding their weaknesses, and now hopefully with the pace that they were playing at, slow them down a little bit and hopefully get a chance to get back attacking and get them in third and long to where they've passed maybe 2 or 3 times maybe, and get them in situations where they're going to have to pass it or they're going to have to really get a long gain to be able to get a first down. So big play right here as we get out of the heat timeout.
And it looks like we changed it up a little bit. We had been going 3 down linemen. We're bringing in 4, both Taylor Davis and Aiden Ellis now in on the defensive line. Nice idea right here from Coach Holt and Coach Snyder to switch things up. And that's – Coach, I thought I saw a hold right there, but not called. Again, Eubanks with the keeper. Just tacklement with number 25, Lucas Green, enough for a first down. But we're just not getting a lot of push on the defensive line right now.
That time they spread us out, and they got us really spread with receivers, out. They had 4 guys out, it looked like, 3 or 4. And they were just able to kind of spread it like a quarterback draw, like it was for sure designed that way, and to be able to get a good gain right there.
Here we go, similar look right here. Looks like we might be getting a little bit of a spy action finally from one of our linebackers. Again, just making adjustments here. Eubanks with the carry. Austin Kanzler with the tackle brings up second down and 3. Again, we're getting in this short to go. We had some success in this short yardage red zone situation against the Bulldogs last time around. Let's see if the Tigers can pin their ears back, because right now Priceville's doing whatever they want to do on offense. Eubanks hands off to Carroll. Carroll runs off left tackle. Brought down by number 9, Azriel Lozano. Brings up first and goal from just outside the 5-yard line. You hate to have some miscues happen for the Tigers right here, because that botched extra point, it might come back to bite us. Coach Snyder calls timeout right here, again wanting to talk it over. 4:11. Again, the clock is going to be a big thing here. Coach, what are you seeing down there? What do you think the keys are right here to keep the Bulldogs out of the end zone?
It's to the point you're like, we're gashing them and attacking them. They go really hard and really bite on the play fake, and we just dump it over the top and get a big touchdown. And you just, in situations like that, you're thinking the same thing. We got to bring more guys up and hit and attack, but they're probably thinking the same thing we are, and they're just waiting for us to do that and be able to dump it over our head. So we're doing a good job of staying where we're supposed to be at and not letting busted coverage beat us and making them beat us. And again, as we get more timeouts and get a little bit more wind under us, I think we can get a push and kind of really figure out where they're kicking and where they're going and be able to get a couple stops right here. So this will be big right here as we come out of the timeout.
Yes, sir, especially with first and goal. we'd really like to leave a little bit of time on the clock for ourselves, especially the way they've been running. Coach, I think they're going to run it right here. I mean, I haven't seen Graham in the game. He seems to be the only quarterback they trust to throw. I think they're just going to try and run it down our throats and see what our defense has. And he is going to keep it, and he's into the end zone for a Priceville touchdown. And with 4:07 to go in the half, it is tied 13-13. And we're going to see Bayer on to attempt the extra point. I think it might be a slugfest tonight, Coach. I mean, there are haymakers being thrown by both sides. It may be whoever has the ball last wins this ball game.
You're exactly right, and
Bayer's kick is up and good, and that's going to put the Bulldogs up 14-13, 4:07 to go in the half. I'm sure Coach Wales and Coach Snyder would love to have this ball. 4:07 left, 2 timeouts. Let's just take this into halftime, hopefully getting a score, knowing that the Bulldogs are going to have it coming out of the half.
And it's really tough. We talk about, we got the kick returned it for a touchdown. Our defense had been on the field for a long time, didn't get much time off with the kickoff return, and then had to come right back on. And they've got to be a little gassed, and they're all sitting over here, and so you hope that, obviously, if we can get another kickoff return, we'll take it. But if not, you gotta be ready to attack. There's just 4 minutes left, but you also got to be cognizant of how much your defense has been on the field in this first half, and hopefully piece together a few first downs, and hopefully not let them get the ball back, before halftime.
Yes, sir. And it's not hot tonight, Coach, but it is extremely humid. I know those heat timeouts, we've been talking about how critical they've been in certain drives, but it has been nice for them to get some water because it is really humid tonight with this front that's going to be moving in. Bayer to do the kicking, going left to right from the home press box. Stafford and Hawthorne back deep to receive. Let's see if Bayer kicks it their way again. He's going to kick it to Stafford, and I don't know if they've got him, but he's not. Great tackle right there by number 21, Colton Madewell. He's been flying all over the field. And Stafford returns the ball to about the 20-yard line. 4:03 to go in the half, Coach.
Hey, big tackle right there.
Yeah, Madewell came flying down the field right there. That's probably the first time, and really almost unblocked. I think the first time in kickoff coverage we've seen anybody unblocked tonight. But here we go, Alex King back out there. Xavion, Larson. Got Judah Wise out there, Coach, number 3. Hadn't called his name tonight. But King out there. Jack Rush there on the far side of the line. Let's see what we have happen right here. 4:03 to go. Ball goes to Riddle. Riddle sticks his foot in the ground, goes north and south. He's stopped. Waiting on them to get up right here. Tackle made by number 71, John Scott Crispin. Coach, we said he was a load on that offensive line, and there he is showing up on the defensive side of the ball as well. 3:42 and ticking, 2nd down and 7.
Again, no rush right here. I know there is 3:30, but we don't have to rush right here.
No, we have 2 timeouts. Handoff goes to Riddle. Great spin move right there by him, and great
Big
job by number 67, Braden Billions, with the block, but he is down. That is a CB&S Bank first down. Braden Billions is on the ground right here, and we're going to take it to a quick break while they come and check on Braden as he is down.
Caution. The temperature isn't the only thing soaring this summer. Call Ardmore Telephone Company today and upgrade your internet to move faster than ever. If you're a current customer, we'd love to discuss our internet options so you can connect to everything you need. Give Ardmore Telephone Company a call at 800-830-9946 today. Fiber is not available in all areas.
Looks like his arm.
All right, and we're back. Good to see Braden Billions getting up. Looked like it might be something with the bicep. He's wanting to go back in immediately. That bodes well for us. He's going to have to sit out at least one because the trainer came on. Big Aiden Ellis coming in at guard, at least for this play. But we did get a CB&S Bank first down right there. King hands the ball off to Riddle. Great hesitation move right there by Riddle. Brought down by number 54, Cole Oliver. Going to bring up 2nd down and 7. Coach, 2:58 and ticking. I know, like you said, we don't have to have a sense of urgency, but you would like to see some chunk plays starting to take place right here for the Tigers if we're thinking about getting a score before half.
Yeah, you're right here, and you also kind of got to be cognizant a little bit at Priceville, thinking, if they run it again right here and they don't get a lot of yards, do we take a timeout and chance us, Ardmore getting 3rd down and a good run right here, or what do we do? So big 2nd down right here with a lot of decisions to be made after.
King rolls out. Pass is complete. Great job by number 13, Caden Larson. I think he played defense on there more than number 11, Jay Patel, did. Larson intercepted that pass from his own quarterback, brings up 3rd down and 3. Coach, I think I saw that happen last night for the Cowboys. Larson just wanted to pull a CeeDee Lamb, and great job by him playing to the whistle.
Unbelievable play. Great catch right there by Caden Larson.
Oh, ball on the ground. Ball recovered by number 71, John Scott Crispin. I don't know what happened there. It looked like Riddle was going to go in motion. Snap was a little bit to King's left right there from Snyder. That you just hate to see that because we had a little bit of momentum going right there with Larson's completion, and now the Bulldogs are getting started from the 29-yard line. Here we go to replay just to see that again. I really don't know. Just a bad snap. It looks like King wanted the ball. I think the ball was going to go to Riddle right there, but unfortunately just tough luck. And here we go, Carroll back here running the rock for Priceville. He's going to hand off to Madewell. Madewell looking to get to the outside. Great job by Jalen Smith, just holding on for dear life. Azriel Lozano coming up to lay the boom. Brings up 2nd down. 1:48 to go and ticking. Coach, I believe you're going to head down to the sideline right here. So you guys are going to be with me as Coach O'Donnell heads down to try and catch either Coach Wales or Coach Snyder before halftime. Madewell with the rock, and he sticks his foot in the ground. Number 21, Colton Madewell, the ball carrier. Tackle made by number 8, Tyler McKnight. Great job of staying in his lane. And we got 1:19 and ticking here, 3rd down and about, could be a long 3, could be 4, tough to tell from this side of the field. But the Tigers playing with a little bit of pass right here, and Coach Parker not in a big rush right here as we're going to get under the 1 minute mark here. Oh, man. Eubanks with the keeper right there, and he just follows his blockers into the end zone. Just a tough sight to see right there. Coach, are you down there on the sideline yet? Can you hear me? Coach? Coach O'Donnell, can you hear me down there? Say something for me. Okay, O'Donnell's down there on the sideline. Not sure if we can hear him. Not sure Not sure if he can hear us. We're working on that technical stuff before halftime. So, okay. Extra point is up and good with 52 seconds to go in the half, and it's Priceville 21, Ardmore 13, and we do have a penalty flag after the extra point. Looked like some people, I believe that there was a Bible study invitation for this Sunday being given out by either members of the Priceville Bulldogs or the Ardmore Tigers. You love to see these kids encouraging one another to go to church on Sunday, but unfortunately we are going to see some laundry afterwards. Look like it's going to be offsetting penalties, so it's going to be moot. I guess they couldn't decide whose church they were going to But that flag is going to be moot here. In 52 seconds left, the Tigers are going to receive the ball before half. Coach O'Donnell, are you down there on the sideline? What's going on down there?
Yeah, just we got the offense together over here. 52 seconds left. We may just right here take it into the half. Down 21-13, kind of regroup and be able to get a stop to start the third quarter and keep it a one-possession game.
It's just been a tough one tonight. We have some success on that first drive with Graham at quarterback, and since then they've gone away from that, and they basically said, here's our two running backs. We're going to go direct snap, and we're going to either run right, we're going to run left, you stop us. And the Tigers have not yet. Looks like Byer's going to kick it short right here. And we're going to see, no, he's not going to kick it that short. Okay, Stafford stops it. He's going to run away from the pressure. Tackle's going to be made by number 34, Boss Clemens. Now that's a football name right there, Coach O'Donnell. Boss Clemens with the tackle.
Yeah, that was a really impressive kick right there. It's just a 1-2, and then he booted it, and he booted it far. And so really impressive kick by the lefty. And now we start the possession with 46 seconds left. We do have all three timeouts. We'll see what we do right here. If we try to see if we can get something on first down, or if we just run it and say let's get into half and regroup.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. King had a lot of success here in the first quarter throwing the ball. We'll see if they let him do this here before half. I don't know if the coaching staff's going to want anything risky to happen. 5 seconds, 4, 3, and they are going to let King throw it back to Riddle. And sniffed out. Great job right there by number 18, Julian Avalos, sniffing out that throwback screen. If he doesn't make that tackle, Coach, I think that Riddle is going to be gone. But man, you hate to see it. And we're 25 seconds. The play clock has yet to start. I wonder if we even run another play right here before half. We would like to thank our championship sponsors, Westco Incorporated, Ardmore Auto, Douthit Construction, Ruderman, Woody Anderson Ford, Elite Sanitation, Jarrett Walker Construction, Butler Realty, North Alabama Bank, Mark Lee Insurance, First National Bank, Ardmore Cabinet, and Fowler Auction. And we're going to take it back down to the sideline for our King's Hardware halftime interview. Coach O'Donnell, who are we going to get right here? I see Coach Wales coming, Coach Snyder's
Coach,
coming.
I'm going to kind of wing it right here. I can't really hear you,
That's
but we
fine.
do have Coach Snyder on the field. Coach, appreciate your time. Kind of the name of the game has been running the ball right here. So what do you do in the second half to combat what they're doing and to continue to just kind of run the ball like we've been able to do?
We better figure out a way to be a little bit tougher. We're very soft right now. We're mentally soft. We're physically soft. At this point, they're taking it to us, and we don't have an answer. So either we find an error or we're about to get embarrassed.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach.
Very honest statement right there from Coach Snyder. In the heat of the game, you love to see that type of passion. I know that the offensive staff, the defensive staff are going to go in here at halftime. They're going to make some adjustments. But, again, even all things considered, we are only down 8 points coming out of halftime. And you'd love to be in the lead, but we are within striking distance. And, again, thank you to King's Hardware for allowing Coach O'Donnell to get down there on the field for that halftime interview. And thank you, Coach Snyder. I know in a heated game like this, especially when you're down, you don't necessarily want to talk to folks, but I appreciate him making the time for us. And at this point, guys, we will sign off for halftime, and you can enjoy the halftime show from both the Ardmore and Priceville bands. This is the AHS Sports Network here on YouTube and Facebook.
Bank is a name everyone in the community will recognize. We see it in our schools, in our parks, and in our homes. First National Bank is proud to help make our community great. I am First National Bank Vice President Crystal Tucker, and together with my team, we have over 120 years of hometown banking experience. We love to help represent First National Bank in our community, and we would love to be your banking partner. First National Bank, making communities great.
Caution. The temperature isn't the only thing soaring this summer. Call Ardmore Telephone Company today and upgrade your internet to move faster than ever. If you're a current customer, we'd love to discuss our internet options so you can connect to everything you need. Give Ardmore Telephone Company a call at 800-830-9946 today. Fiber is not available in all areas.
gentlemen, on behalf of Principal Stephen Ball, we welcome you to tonight's performance by the Ardmore High School Pride of the State Line Marching Tigers. This evening, the Pride of the State Line presents their 2025 production, Blended Classics, a powerful fusion of classic rock and symphonic tradition. Tonight's program features the music of Aerosmith, Beethoven, and Chuck Berry, bringing together the drive of rock and the strength of classical music. The Pride of the State Line is under the field command of Drum Major Mason Lee.
I've got it. I got the board. Don't. Yeah, you're good. I got the board. Check the piano real quick. All right. Let's call the attention.
Drum Major, is your band ready? And now, under the field command of Drum Major Mason Lee, please welcome the Pride of the State Line. Is under the direction of Zach Tyree and Stephen Cook. Our color guard sponsor is Lori Payne, and our percussion instructor is John Topic. The Pride of the State Line band captains and officers are Drum Major Mason Lee, band captain and low brass captain Blake Topic, Woodwind Captain Aiden Brooks, Hot Brass Captain Owen Burgess, Drum Captain Michael Reed, Color Guard Captains Autumn Mears and Faith Ann Bissett, Band President Jonathan Harlan, Band Vice President Cassidy Carnicol. Proud of the state line, I'd like to thank all of our visitor officers, parents, guardians, grandparents, band moms and dads, along with our faculty, administration, and staff for their dedication and support of our program.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with Ardmore Tiger football here on the AHS Sports Network. Coach, great halftime performances by both bands. But I think the bigger question right here is, what do you, as Coach Snyder, Coach Wales, Coach Holt, the offensive and defensive staffs, what do you think was talked about inside of the field house after halftime? If you had to ask me, I think the biggest thing Coach Snyder hit on it is going to be toughness. We've got guys there. We just have to make tackles in certain situations, and right now we're not doing that. We had some success in the pass game. I've got the stats from the first half. Your Tigers ran for 36 yards in the first half. We're 8 of 9 passing for 75 yards. But unfortunately, we did have 1 fumble lost and 2 penalties for 20 yards. The big one coming after the fair catch on the kickoff. Priceville, on the other hand, ran for 168 yards, has 0 yards passing, have 1 more penalty than us. 9 first down for the Bulldogs to 5 for the Tigers. Coach, what do you think your takeaways are going to be for the Tigers coming out of halftime in order to have some success? Because Priceville's going to get the ball to start it off here.
You know, the good thing that is, you know, we got a little bit of time to get in the locker room and settle down. And you saw the intensity and the things that Coach Snyder said in our interview. You know, he's going to be able to put in something good for us to be able to figure out how to stop them. And you know, the thing is, I feel confident that if they come out and do what they did, we'll be fine. It'll be if they kind of veer off that into something else. You know, do they or do they not? Do they kind of just say this is what we're going to do regardless? And you know, big possession coming out right here. We need to get a good kick, kind of get them back in the, you know, to the 20 or 25 for the possession, and give the defense, let them fly around and hopefully get a stop and get the offense back on the field with all the time you need to, and you don't have to rush. That you're not, and we can just go play and. So this will be really big right here. We're coming out. Looks like we've responded well. We're flying around. Got good energy, it looks like. So hopefully we can come out and make a few plays and get the third quarter started out with a bang.
Coach, I like all of our coaches. I think that the adjustments are going to be made, but it's like you and I talked about in that first half. Whoever's going to have the ball last in a game like this might be the team that wins it. But I still like the Tigers right here. I think we're a little bit more diverse offensively. I think it may be put on Alex's shoulders to throw the ball a little bit more. I mean, the Bulldogs have done a great job sniffing out our 2 running backs, but at the end of the day, the name of the game is physicality. Coach hit on that in our interview this week, and they're out physicaling us right now. And I hope that they challenge these guys, because we got an older group defensively, a lot of new faces, but an older group defensively that I've seen be physical. I just hope that we do it the right way and we don't end up costing ourselves some penalty yardage here and there with the type of physicality we have. But Alejandro's going to be doing the kicking right to left from the home press box, back deep to receive for the Bulldogs, number 21, Colton Madewell, and number 9, Uriah Burnham. It looks like Alejandro's going to kick it short again. Let's see if we can have a little bit of tact here. See if Alejandro, he is going to keep it in the field of play. It is going to be fair caught by number 10, Jack Eubanks. And the Bulldogs will start from their 37-yard line. Combs, Ellis, McKnight on the line. Your linebackers are Kanzler, Smith, Green, and Lozano. Pilot and Newman on at safety, Stafford at cornerback, and we are going to go a 4-man front, Coach. We did see that a little bit at the end of the second quarter. I just think it's going to be something we're going to have to do. We've got to get movement here, especially with, here again, Priceville's coming out. No true quarterback, just their running back's going to take a direct snap, and here it is. Handoff goes to Madewell. He gets to the outside, and, man, he can really run. Forced out of bounds right there by number 14, Logan Newman. But, man, when Madewell puts his foot in the ground, he can really go, and he gets to that outside, and it's going to be tough to catch him. block on block, hat on hat right there. Tigers got to start flying around a little bit right here with a sense of urgency.
Yeah, that's not the ideal start on first down, and now they're on our side of the 50. So we got to be able to make some plays. It starts right here on first down. Still doing the same stuff. It looks like with the two sniffers.
Madewell running. He's met by Lucas Green. Lucas Green just couldn't get him down, unfortunately. Ended up having to be helped right there by Caden Combs, but Madewell again with the first down. It's a really nice switch up that Parker's doing right here. You have Carroll, who's a little bit more of a bruising back, fast in his own right, but Madewell, he's really just looking to get downhill, stick the foot in the ground, make somebody miss, and he might take it to the house.
And again, credit their offensive linemen. They're getting a hat on a hat and just driving them back and really doing a good job of the first contact being 3 or 4 yards down the field and just continuing what they did in the first half right here.
I mean, we got 7 guys on the line right here for Priceville, the 2 sniffers. They're going to be running left right here behind the blocks. Great
really
job right there by
right
Kanzler
there.
getting off the block and stretching it out, at least just slowing him down enough to get a stop right there. Actually had some negative yardage, going to be 2nd down and 11. And I think that's what we're going to have to do. I mean, I'm not sitting down here on the field of play. I'm standing up here in the booth. But I really think our linebackers are going to have to fly around and be a little bit more physical because the line's doing all they can.
Yeah.
But they're putting 7 guys in that line. You got the 2 sniffers trying to hit that hole and lead block, and these 2 running backs are going to be a load, and it looks like they're just going to be content with running the ball, limiting possessions. We've already got over a minute and a half gone right here from the Bulldogs. Carroll with the keeper. Great job by Landon Combs right there. Again, just slowing it down, letting the rest of the Tiger defense get there. Met by a group of Tigers, going to bring up 3rd down. Coach, we talked about it in that first sequence way back in the first quarter when we did get off the field on 3rd down, how huge these type of stops are. Again, at this point in the field, though, Coach, I really think it may be 2 stops for the Tigers because Byers' leg is good. I just don't know if they're going to pull him out for close to a 50-yard field goal.
Yeah, and with, the amount of time they've already been on the field in the first half and how they've driven down in the second half, we might be wearing down just a little bit.
Eubanks on the keeper. Looks like an option type look. He doesn't pitch it. Oh, my gosh, a broken tackle right there. And Eubanks, all it takes is one. Tigers just missing tackles left and right there, and Eubanks is into the end zone. It looked like we had him wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, Coach, and next thing we know, he's gone. I'd have to look at the replay and see what happened right there. A lot of chaos in the middle of the field. I thought we had him down.
Yeah, it was really weird. He kind of spun and stopped, and everybody froze, including him, and it was really odd. And he bounced it out and was gone from there. And not the start you want, but again, it's a long game. You just got to put your head down.
They do fumble that snap, but Byers' kick is up and good. And with 9:31 to go in the 3rd quarter, it's Priceville 28, your Tigers 13. Like you said, Coach, it kind of was like time froze. I think everybody kind of wondered what happened. The next thing you know, Eubanks kept playing. I just don't know. That's a gut punch right there, especially on 3rd down when you look like you've got to stop. Maybe you're going to have to deal with something on 4th down, and then next thing you know, Eubanks is 30 yards downfield and into the end zone. But the beautiful thing is we can't count ourselves out. I'm certainly not going to, especially with the way our special teams has been playing. It just takes one little run right here, and next thing you know, your Tigers are back in business. Byer to do the kicking, Hawthorne and Stafford back deep. Coach, you got to think Coach Wales right here is going to come out and switch things up right now. But man, Priceville is really just letting us have it right now on the offensive line. I mean, we got some big bodies there, but they're doing a good job of covering everybody. And unfortunately, a missed tackle, and next thing you know, we're down by 15 points. You hate to say an extra point here or there can come back to bite us, but, man, I'd really love it to be 14 points and not 15, knowing you're going to have to get a 2-point conversion there somewhere. Byer kicks the ball. It's going to go to Jalen Smith. He is going to receive it. A little bit of a burlier back. Jalen running with a head full of steam right there. Great yardage by Jalen. Gets back to the Tiger 40-yard line. Tackle made by number 2, Hudson Eubanks. You know, I'd love to see Noah Stafford get that ball because he is an athlete, but, man, Jalen Smith's a name we've called a lot the last 2 weeks. He is a load, and next thing you know, you look up, and we're nearly in plus territory because he's just so hard to bring down. Great job on that kickoff, and here we go, rolling the replay. Looks like Stafford and Smith kind of get confused as to who's going to take it, and then next thing you know, Smith is just toting the rock. He's carrying 3 and 4 people with him. King going to be out to do the quarterback duties. You have Hawthorne, you have Riddle in the backfield, Stafford up at the top. And let's see what the Tiger offense is going to do coming out of the half. Jack Rush. Riddle's going to tote the rock right there. Tackle made by Big 71. John Scott Christman.
You know, and one thing that I'll say right here is, you know, they're obviously saying they're selling out to stop the run, but you still see Noah over there in single coverage, and eventually, you know, we're going to hit that, and it's just that's going to be the play that you got to connect on to keep them honest, and look for that probably coming up this drive right here.
Just tough for Riddle to get going.
Is.
He's starving. Hey, I mean, he's almost getting the ball and having to make a cut, and it's just tough for him. He's really more of a north and south type runner. I'm not going to say he's not shifty because we have seen it before, but it's really tough for him to get things going, and that's going to bring us to third down at 8. But, Coach, like you said, Stafford is there in single coverage. We tried it early in the game. They've been letting these receivers play. But at some point that run's going to lull him to sleep, and you may forget about Noah Stafford over here, and he's really one step away from something happening. We're 4 wide right here. King in the backfield.
There you go.
Oh, pass is complete right there to Stafford. It is going to be short of the line to gain.
Looks like we're going to go Hulk right here.
Hulk package right here. Looks like we got Aiden Ellis coming in, Logan Newman coming in, McKnight coming in. I like this call.
I do.
Set
I agree
the
with
tone
you.
right here for your offense and say, hey, yeah, they came out and punched us in the mouth, but we're not scared. We're going to go and do what we've got to do right here. And here we go. Riddle with the snap. It just looked like Riddle took his eye off it, Coach. That's all I could see right there. I mean, the snap hit him in the hands. That's not on Snyder, unfortunately. And you know, you get to thinking, you know, we hadn't called a Hulk package yet this season. You know, adrenaline's pumping. Things just not going right for the Tigers at this point. But again, there is a lot of game left. But the stop has to be made here. 15 points is where it's at. I think if it gets to 21-22 right here, it's going to be really tough, and we're going to have to go away from what we do best, which is run the ball and put a lot of pressure on King to make completions, which he has done tonight, but just go away from our offense in its entirety. And here we go, big test right here for the Tigers coming up with 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. Handoff goes to Madewell. They're stretching it out again, and they just stretch. I mean, Madewell just sticks the foot in the ground, and he's not out of bounds. We're not playing through the whistle right now, and it's a little bit frustrating up here in the box to see because we see guys running fast, running hard. It looks like he goes out of bounds, and then he's 5-10 yards down the field. It's just a little bit frustrating. I know it's got to be frustrating down there on the field as well, Coach. Me up here in the box, I'm just talking.
Yeah, it's they've just got some momentum and they're rolling, and this is this is kind of that you're in that zone now where you're gonna have to get stops and I mean it's we got to get some stops right here.
Yes, sir. Madewell takes a direct snap, running up the middle. I don't know if Aiden Ellis just sat down on top of him right there. Kind of looked like he got knocked into him, and that it did make the stop. Going to bring up 2nd down. They can get a 1st down without having to get into the end zone. Looks to be about the 4-yard line. Going to bring up 2nd and about 7 here for the Bulldogs. Again, any type of stop, a bobbled snap. You know, again, we talk about Logan Newman can come downhill and lay the wood. Maybe a big hit that causes a fumble. Eubanks here on the keeper. Great job of tackling. And to be honest with you, that's what it's been a lot of tonight. A lot of short runs, a broken tackle here or there. Really without number 21, Madewell's success going to that left edge and just running behind that big offensive line. They haven't had a whole lot of big plays right here. Would be huge right here for the Tigers to get a stop and force Coach Parker to make a decision. Does he go for it on 4th down, or does he take the points and put the Bulldogs up 18?
Yeah, I'm kind of conservative right here, but
Eubanks again, and that's going to be a flag in the backfield. I think this is going to come back.
Yeah, you would think so. Maybe illegal motion right there. Maybe.
There was a lot of movement. I don't know if everybody was set on the snap. Yes. And so that's going to bring the Bulldogs back, which is great because Eubanks did get in the end zone right there. So that's going to bring up 3rd and long. But I would really love to have been a fly on the wall for Priceville and kind of wonder, does Sheldon Graham come back in this game at all? I mean, I know we saw him in a short yardage situation, but if they're not going to be throwing the ball, and he had an arm in warm-ups, I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm doing what I've done all game. I'm running it, setting it up in the middle of the field, and giving my kicker a chance to try to get a field goal and get it to a 3-possession lead. So need to try to get a big tackle, maybe a tackle for loss right here, and hopefully get them further out.
Eubanks on the keeper. Oh, they're going to do an end around right here to Burnham. And Uriah Burnham is in to the end zone for a Priceville Bulldog touchdown. Coach, you hate to see it. At the same time, though, the game is far from over.
Yeah.
And, a stop or two here, we need to go down and score. But at the same time, a lot of teachable moments here for the Tigers in the grand scheme of things. You're going to face adversity as the season goes on, and obviously this is not where we wanted to be with 5:57 to go in the third quarter, down by 22 points. But it's not possible to lead all year. I mean, I guess in theory it is, but from where we're coming from with the Tigers, you've got to assume we're going to be down at some point. You want to see how your boys handle things. You want to be able to face adversity and deal with things the right way. And this is where you really tell what type of team you have. You may not want to do it in the first game in region play, but better now than week 7 or 8 when you're really having to fight for that playoff spot. Everything's still in front of you. You want to set the tone and win here, but everything's still in front of you regardless of a win or loss tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about that. It's very early. There's a lot of games left to be played. And looking at this possession right here, you just got to go one down at a time. Just get some positive momentum, get the offense in a rhythm, let our defense kind of get over there on the side and get a little bit of a blow, and just march down the field, score a touchdown, and then try to get a stop. You don't have to get it all back in one play. You're not going to get it all back in one play or one possession. You just kind of have to just keep going a little bit at a time. And then just get the pressure back on them to continue to make plays, because again, at some point, they're very one-dimensional, and they've had success with it, but we're eventually going to make those plays, and you just got to wonder, are they going to continue to do that if we score a touchdown or two? How much longer are they going to stay with that, and are they going to feel any pressure? So that was another really good drive by Priceville, a great play right there at the end to be able to score a touchdown, looked a lot like Florida State's play last week.
Yes, sir.
Great gutsy play call on 3rd down, and so now we're fixing to get the ball back, hopefully with a chance to score and get it back to a 2-possession game.
Byers' kick, yet again going to Jalen Smith. He does not fair catch it. Jalen Smith's a load, and there he goes yet again, putting the Tigers in great field position. He hits the hole brought down by number 0, the kicker, Landon Byer, and it's going to be a CB&S Bank first down for your Tigers from about the 41-yard line. Again, we're putting ourselves in good position. Here we go. Jalen receives the kick. Did think about fair catching it, Coach. I thought about that hand going up. But then he finds that hole, and boom, yet again, he is a load to bring down. We saw him run the rock a little bit against Tanner he's been playing a great job at linebacker, but he can run the rock.
Yeah, and again, really good starting. I would say we would at least average about the 40-yard line of starting field position. So another good starting spot right here. Hopefully get some momentum going, get some first downs, and maybe get a touchdown.
Ball goes to King, throws it out to Stafford, who sticks his foot in the ground, gains about 3 right there, going to bring up 2nd and 7. Just a great job right there by number 18, Julian Avalos, being able to make a play right there on a screen pass where really you had a hat on a hat.
Yeah.
He just got off his block and made a tackle right there. You can't fault the Tigers for that.
A really good play design right there. He made a play, and we did get positive yards, but, again, making a great play right there on defense.
Great job by Javian Riddle sticking
Really
his
good,
foot in the ground. He ends up tripping over himself, forced down to the ground by number 42, Chase Couture. Going to bring up 3rd down and 4, and here we are again in this situation where you never know what we're going to do right here. Is this a 2-play scenario? I mean, obviously you want to get it on 3rd, but is this a potential 2-play scenario right here yet again for Coach Wales? Almost got him right there. Great job. Great job by Coach Wales with the hold counts right there. And the snap count good. King looking, and there he is.
There you go.
I mean, you and I talked about it. If they're going to leave him one-on-one, he is skilled enough to get out of a route and attempt to get open. I don't like him necessarily getting up as slowly right there. May got a little bit of the wind knocked out of him, but he is going to be a possession-type receiver if we need him to be. And that's a great job right there. I think we're going to get 5 yards as well. King gets up to the line quickly. Priceville a little bit out of whack, and I think they step into that's going to be on us. I thought that was Priceville stepping in the neutral zone right there, but I guess that's going to be – and if you notice, King, boom, looking at Noah all the way, anticipates the route. Yeah. Great throw where only he can get it. And we have a CB&S Bank 1st down. It is going to be 1st and 15 for the Tigers from the Bulldog 49-yard line. Coach, I thought for sure right there that they had gotten into the neutral zone. But
I didn't see anybody for us move.
Yeah, I didn't either. So, maybe a little bit of sideline cooking right there from Priceville. But great job by King. Great job by Hawthorne.
Great catch.
I mean, he was playing clown, juggler, who knows what he was doing right there. And yet again, kind of similar to us, everybody stops, and he's able to make that catch, and next thing we know, it's 2nd and short.
There you go.
Good snap goes to Riddle. Riddle's just fighting behind his blocks, and there it's a CB&S Bank 1st down, and we got a flag thrown late. I'm not sure what that call is going to be.
And that just slows the pace down.
It does, especially. Face mask. Coach, We'll take that right there. That's good. I was going to say, it didn't look like that was a hole. Javian was out front of the blockers at that point. We'll tack that on.
So that's a really good job right here. We're playing fast.
Here we go to replay. Javian, he gets in the hole, sticks around, and sure enough, right there at the end, number 3 with the face mask. There it is. King goes to Hawthorne. Great job by Xavion. Tough luck right there. Bout broke out of the first one, couldn't break out of the second one. Tackle made by number 10, Jack Eubanks. Looks like with forward momentum, he gets back to the original line of scrimmage. You got to think we're hunting 7 right here, Coach. This might be 4-down type territory here for your Tigers.
And with that, you can call plays in your head knowing you've got 4 downs. You don't have to get it all at once. So we can run the ball right here, get 4 or 5, put ourselves in really good position on a 3rd down.
Tough luck right there. Another great job right there by Jack Russia getting open coverage by Sincere Baker right there. Great job by Baker not biting on that play fake that time. Rush having a hard time getting the hands up there. Great play design. Love that play design right there from Coach Wales. I think it's going to have a lot of success as the year goes on. But here we are, Coach, yet again, 3rd and long right here. I know we're within Alejandro's field goal range. We did have one blocked last week. Be interested to see how we handle things depending upon what we do right here on 3rd down. King rolls to the right where he is the most. And that's tough right there. Tip made by number 10, Jack Eubanks. That's going to bring up 4th and 10. Interested to see what we do right here. I think we've you've probably got to go for it.
I agree with you. I mean,
just the way Priceville's running the ball. And, again, it's 2:54 left to go in the third quarter right here, and we've only had 2 possessions. I think possessions are going to come at a premium, especially if we can't keep the Bulldogs off the field of play. And here it is right here. We got 6, 5, 4, 3. I think we're going to have to burn one here.
I think they reset it. We're at 14.
Okay, 14. I'm sorry. There it is. You got 6, 5. Here we go. King drops back. Great decision by Alex King. Does he get there?
They have gotten it. I think
It's going to be right on the line to gain. If they don't measure, I'm going to be shocked. This guy on this side is saying that Priceville keeps it. I would like to at least see a measure. I think it's a lot closer than that.
Far behind.
Ooh. A broken play right there. King does all he can. I mean, again, it's great to have a 200-pound quarterback. I think you've at least got to give us something. King looks, man, it's going to be close.
His helmet was over.
It's going to be close. They're not even going to bring the chains out. That's a little bit frustrating right there.
That was not a good spot
I'm not a fan of that spot. I thought it was closer than that. But, again, give credit where credit's due to Alex King. In a broken situation, he says, I'm going to put my head down and just try and get this happening. But, again, this is kind of the story of the night for the Tigers. You get a few things going, and next thing you know, Priceville's got the ball back.
Yeah, and just couldn't finish that one out. And, you know, now it's you're going to have to get stops, and really you need a good 3 and out and get this offense back on the field. Try to get a touchdown, you know, going into the fourth quarter or just as the fourth quarter starting, to just know how many possessions you got left and what stops you got to do. So we know what they're going to do right here. We just, you know, we got to step up and make a few plays.
Interesting switch right here. Graham is back out. He hands the ball off to Carroll. Another broke. Oh, my goodness. Come on, Ronnie. Come on, Ronnie. Do not give up, Ronnie. And that's just huge right there. My goodness. Lucas Green, Jalen Smith right there. 2 broken tackles. And unfortunately, about 85 yards later, the Bulldogs are in the end zone for a touchdown. You know, we hadn't seen Graham in the game very much right there. You don't think he's going to throw the ball, but he hands the ball off to Carroll. A couple missed tackles. He gets to the outside. Ronnie Pilot does everything he can, but unfortunately he's just not as quick as Carroll is at the edge, and it's now 42-13. Priceville Bulldogs. Coach, I don't want to say I'm at a loss right here because, again, like I said, everything is a coachable moment. But man, that's a gut punch. That really is a gut punch. But if I know the way that Coach Snyder and these guys coach these boys, they're not going to quit until that fourth quarter whistle goes, or horn sounds, time's off the clock. But man, it's just unfortunate to see Priceville having so much success tonight when it's our bread and butter too. And right now they're just outplaying us in the trenches on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and last year, early in the game at Priceville, they were doing that, and then for some reason they went and they kind of went back to the pass game a little bit. And I think he realized, probably going back and watching that film, if we'd have just kept doing that, not saying they would have won, but that would have given them momentum to keep going. And you see they've done it tonight, and they've had a lot of success with it. And they've controlled the line of scrimmage. They've ran the ball really hard, and you just got to go again minute by minute, possession by possession. Hopefully we get the ball right here with good field position again and get some momentum going on offense.
Kick's going to be received right there. Oh my gosh. Great job of sticking with the play right there. Coach, is that Caden Hazelwood down there?
Yeah.
It is. Caden Hazelwood sticking with the play. Ball bounces off of Newman's face mask, and just I don't want to say that's the story of the night, but we have had some miscues. We would like to thank our championship sponsors for the 2025 season: Wesco Incorporated, Ardmore Auto, Douthit Construction, Ruderman, Woody Anderson Ford, Elite Sanitation, Jarrett Walker Construction, Butler Realty, North Alabama Bank, Mark Lee Insurance, First National Bank, Ardmore Cabinet, and Fowler Auction. Thank you for all you do for the football program. But it has been Ardmore miscues. Priceville's played a heck of a game, but we have beat ourselves a little bit right there. And that pass is incomplete and intended for Caden Larson, number 10, Jack Eubanks in coverage. And I think this is going to kind of be the story for the rest of the game for the Tigers. Is going to be King's going to have to drop back, and we're going to have to catch the football. And I know that's not necessarily how our offense is built. I love Alex King as a thrower. We've got guys out there that can do it. We just have to execute, and tonight we really haven't been.
Yeah, and he's defense. I'll get to it after this play.
King rolls out, pass. Again, incomplete, intended for Larson.
The defense is, you got to give them credit. They're doing a really good job of, when we are in passing situations, they're keeping it all in front of them. And the way they're playing, Alex is having to fit it into some tight windows. That he is fitting them in there, but it's also, there's a lot of hands, there's a lot of stuff there to where the receivers are, kind of, it comes at you quick. So, you do got to give credit to Priceville in the way that they've defended us tonight. Hopefully right here on third down we can get it, some yardage and get a first down.
I agree. We are overloaded over here. He's going to look to Stafford. Oh, he's calling that incomplete. I didn't see that.
I think he may have stepped out and then stepped back in and called it. If we can get the replay, I think that's what happened. Is he may have stepped out of bounds and then came back in to catch it. A great catch, nonetheless.
He does. Yeah, he is. There he is. Unfortunately, that left foot does hit out of bounds. That is a good call by the referee. I just saw the right foot land. Unfortunately, that right foot lands first, left foot hits.
Yeah.
Maybe we're in business. He was forced out in a athletic move, meaning he did have the ability to go and catch that ball. Alejandro, his punt, we need to down it right here because they are getting a Priceville. Great job by Lucas Green. Downed at the 38-yard line. No flags on the play. Right here for the defense, you've been gashed a little bit on the last few possessions. You could really use some confidence being built right here, especially going into the next week against Fairview, because don't think that these other teams in our region aren't going to see this tape and look to try and do some damage to us, especially as we traverse this region schedule of Priceville, Fairview, East Limestone, Lawrence County, Russellville, and West Point. Graham with actually what would be a pass, because he pitched that forward to number 24, Xavion Camel, sniffed out by a couple of Tigers right there for a short gain. Tackle made by number 25, Lucas Green. That's going to bring up 2nd and 9.
I'll kind of give a few updates of our teams we might see in the playoffs as they've started region play. Sardis is up 15-13 on Arab. Scottsburg's up 21-0 on Boaz, and we will look to get a couple more scores as we go throughout the rest of this night.
Coach, I did see that the West Limestone was only down 7 at the half against West Morgan. That would be a big game if West Limestone could take that from the Rebels there. Graham hands the ball off, and again, Carroll is just running blind. I mean, he's through the line, and there's nobody there. Forced out of bounds right there by number 1, Noah Stafford, number 29, Ronnie Pylant. And that's going to bring us to the 1-minute mark here in the third quarter. Coach, if I'm Seth Parker in Priceville, I got one more play. I'm taking this into the fourth quarter here and forcing the Tigers to get a stop here in the fourth.
no need to rush it right here. The time is on your side. Maybe get another play in, and then if they time it right, and then get straight to the fourth.
Carroll again, broken tackle. McKnight's in the backfield. Broken tackle by Carroll. Finally tackled by number 13, Caden Larson. But my goodness, we're 4 yards in the backfield, and we just can't. I don't know. Those white jerseys may have baby oil on them. I just don't know right now. They were just slipping and sliding everywhere. That's going to take us to the quarter, folks, and we're going to head to a break. Your Ardmore Tigers trailing 42-13 here on the AHS Sports Network.
Bank is a name everyone in the community will recognize. We see it in our schools, in our parks, and in our homes. First National Bank is proud to help make our community great. I am First National Bank Vice President Crystal Tucker, and together with my team, we have over 120 years of hometown banking experience. We love to help represent First National Bank in our community, and we would love to be your banking partner. First National Bank, making communities great.
And we're back right here. Priceville leading 42-13 here at the start of the fourth quarter. Coach, we're going to go ahead and do this. Would you like to thank our championship sponsors for the 2025 Ardmore football season?
I sure will. We appreciate all that they do. Wesco, Ardmore Auto, Douthit Construction, Ruderman, Woody Anderson Ford, Elite Sanitation, Jarrett Walker Construction, Butler Realty, North Alabama Bank, Markley Insurance, First National Bank, Ardmore Cabinet, and Fowler Auction. We, again, thank you for your support, not only in the 2025 Ardmore football season, but in the years past. Appreciate all that they do. Thank you for our championship sponsors for the 2025 season.
And here we go, back to the formation. We've seen a lot tonight. Carroll with the keeper. Great job by Austin Kanzler getting in the backfield and meeting him. That is gonna stop things at first and goal. Going to bring up second and goal inside the 5, but Kanzler got in the backfield, grabbed onto Carroll, and just held on for dear life, and the clock is ticking here. Coach, going into next week against Fairview, first game on the road, King's having to throw it a lot here tonight. I know it's been hard for us to talk positively, but we have had the opportunity to complete a bunch of passes. The route schemes that Coach Wales has drawn up have been successful. Great stop right there. Madewell
Fumble.
looking to
Look like we got a fumble.
Get hot. But Landon Combs with the stop, going to bring up third and goal. You like to see the amount of completed passes that we have, but
I did see the ball got knocked out. Oh, we got a player in.
We do have a player down, and we are going to head to a break here really quickly. 10:54 to go in the ball game. Priceville leading 42-13. This is the AHS.
Caution. The temperature isn't the only thing soaring this summer. Call Ardmore Telephone Company today and upgrade your internet to move faster than ever. If you're a current customer, we'd love to discuss our internet options so you can connect to everything you need. Give Ardmore Telephone Company a call at 800-830-9946 today. Fiber is not available in all areas.
It was. I mean, as we're back, you know, the ball came out. That was very clear. Now, I did not see who had the possession because the player was injured, and they kind of looked towards that. But the ball was definitely out. And I think they're going to come over here and give Coach Snyder an explanation. It may not be the one he's looking for.
No, I don't think so. And they're going to make him walk all the way to the sideline because, you know, heaven forbid that we're in a timeout. We have players on the field during the timeout, but we've got to get to the sideline. And I'll be interested to see the explanation here. From the way that Coach Snyder is, I didn't think that was what he wanted to hear. It looked to be just a cramp, though. You know, Madewell was up pretty quickly. But the ball was fumbled, and here we are yet again, 3rd down and short for the Bulldogs inside the Tiger 5-yard line. And unfortunately, the fumble that appears to be recovered by the Bulldogs. And here we go, Graham in, Carroll flanking him to his left. 4 wideouts. And Graham looking to keep the ball right here, and he is in. I thought he was in earlier, Coach. That was a late call. I thought he spun into the end zone early and then maybe was met right there. I'm not sure. Again, a lot of bodies right there. But with 10:48 to go in the game, that's going to bring the Bulldog lead to 48-13. Byer will be on to do the kicking. Just an unfortunate sequence of events right here. Missed tackles, kind of some poor execution for our Tigers tonight. But you know what the beautiful thing about football is? It's 10 weeks long. We are going to have a bye week there on that Friday before fall break, before we travel to Lawrence County. And with 10:48 to go, your Tigers trail 49-13. Going to be a lot of learning moments for the Tigers this weekend on film. And I think Coach Snyder's going to challenge them. And one big thing is, hey, the Priceville Bulldogs came out and punched you in the mouth, and they punched you again, and as it went on, it became a real one-sided fight. It kind of looked like Mike Tyson in his prime a little bit. He's swinging haymakers, and you're just trying to survive right now, and our feet are a little bit wobbly. I'm hoping that we can see a little bit of life out of the offense here with about 11 minutes left to go before the end of this game.
Yeah, and, you know, like Coach Snyder alluded to, you know, in your talk with him, we have a really good region, and so it's not like, you know, Priceville is not good. They're very good. They've shown it the first 2 weeks. They showed it towards the end of last year, returned a lot of guys, and so you can't get hung up on one game. You got to, you know, 24-hour rule, like Coach Saban said, win or lose. You got to move forward, get ready for Fairview. It's going to be another physical game. And you know, this week I know, you know, we know Coach Snyder very well. There's going to be a lot of emphasis on tackling, on physicality, and I know they will continue to improve. And next week we will see a very physical Ardmore team and a very angry team as they come into Fairview. We'll give a couple scores real quick as the kickoff is going.
Go ahead, Coach. I've got it right here. Newman's going to take the kickoff. He's going to be down at about the 36-yard line. Again, we've had great field position all night, just not been able to capitalize. But, Coach, what's going on around the region this evening?
The team that we are talking about that we will face next week, the Fairview Aggies, are right now up 28-7 on West Point. As they start region play, Russellville is up 28-0 on Lawrence County. And those are the two that I have so far. West Morgan is up on West Limestone now, 42-0.
Oh, that got out of hand really quick after the half.
I think West Morgan decided to go ahead and let's just gear it and let's go. And they're up. Athens is up 34-23 on Coleman. It's good for them. Colbert Heights is up 30-0 on Clements, and Lauderdale County is up 52-7 on Elkmont.
King on the keeper right here, tackled for a loss. That's going to bring up second down and 12. Coach, it kind of looked like a little bit of a busted play. I don't know if King was making a read right there and Riddle got out of the way, or if that was a keeper all the way, but there were a lot of white jerseys in that backfield with King pulling that ball and keeping it. I don't know if that was a wrong read right there, or if something just went wrong in the execution of that.
as we continue on, I've not checked my phone very much, but we want to thank Spencer Smith and his family for watching as they are traveling back home from the beach. I know he had a good little time there over Labor Day, so hope they have they travel back safely, and appreciate them listening in. Also, our crew, Kelly Haney, Matt Randolph, Aaron Randolph, Cody Green, Heath Haney. They do all the heavy lifting so that Coach Cornell and I can just talk about what we see and have a good little time on the sports network. So we appreciate all their work and what they do to bring this and present this to you guys and to make it as easy as they can for us. So we appreciate all them, and thank all the ones that are watching live. Hang in there with us for the rest of this game. We'll send you to the rest of the weekend here in about 9:15.
Riddle ran on second down, gained about 4 yards there. Looked like a run, but it's actually going to go down as a pass right there from King to Hawthorne. Thought he was going to get to the outside. Great job of shedding blocks right there by the Bulldogs. Brings up 4th down from the 40. Again, Coach, we've talked about it. Special teams, for all of its faults early in the year, has played very, very well for us tonight and put us in good field position. We just have not been able to execute. And give credit to Priceville on that, because the play design has been pretty good, just unfortunately not been able to do what we want to do. Alejandro has punt. Great job flipping the field of play right there. It's going to be down just inside the 15-yard line by our Tigers, and that's going to put Priceville at 1st and 10 with 8:31 to go. And, Coach, kind of like you said, this region from top to bottom is extremely strong. Obviously you had Russellville and Fairview at the top of the region last year. You expect Fairview to come out and be another strong team, but really 2 through 4 in those playoff spots. The rest of this season is going to be up for grabs, obviously, with Russellville having some turnover on their roster. But here we go. Graham he's going to hand the ball off to number 24, Xavier Camel, and we do have a whistle. They said he was forced out of bounds at about the 42-yard line, which is great. Give credit right there to number 14, Logan Newman. He did not give up on that play, and he ran the whole way and made the tackle as if that was going to be – it would have been a touchdown, but it looked like he was forced out of bounds right there at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, great hustle by Logan. Something very reminiscent to a few years ago when they were playing in 8th grade and playing, and now we're in their what you would call championship. Russellville had a big lead on us, and he came across the field. Not much time left on the clock, big lead for Russellville, and he hawked the guy down and just showed a lot of heart, and you can tell in that play right there he did the same thing. Logan, wouldn't expect anything less from Logan Newman. Great hard worker, great player for the Ardmore Tigers.
Here we go. Handoff goes again to Camel, and Camel gets to the outside. Jalen Smith, great job of getting over there and making the tackle. It is going to be out of bounds at the Ardmore 42-yard line. Be 1st and 10 for Priceville from there. Coach, it's just got to be tough right here when you know what's coming and you can't stop it. They're just putting hats on hats. Man, you just hate to see it for the Tigers tonight. Like Coach said, they had a great week of practice today, but give credit where credit's due. Priceville came out and executed their game plan, and great job right there. Burnham with the carry again. Tackle made by Kanzler for a short gain. Here was the Priceville game plan. We're going to run it down their throats and see what happens, and, to the tune of 49 points later, they're going to come out of this with their first region win.
Yeah, and I lose track of sometimes up here. Have they thrown a pass in the second half?
They have not, Coach. I don't think that they've. I mean, the first drive of the game where we stopped them, Graham threw a pass, and then they got out of that. Graham really hasn't been in the game. Obviously, you're seeing him in the game here now, probably because, okay, now we got, I don't know what's going on.
They're probably going to call that offset, but, playing through the whistle,
it's just tough. I mean, it's tough right there. Newman's trying to come up and get to this side of the field. Obviously, there's some extracurriculars. You would love to see both guys disengage when the whistle's made, but obviously offsetting penalties here, it's not going to hurt us. It is going to bring up third down as a result.
It's just hard to fault a kid for when they're both going hard and one gets that last one in. And not that it was dirty, but, Logan's just trying to continue the play, until the whistle blows and they get them both right there. It's just kind of tough.
They do. Here we go. Graham hands the ball off to Burnham. Great job by Azriel Lozano holding on for dear life right there. That's going to bring up fourth down. Coach, you got to think Coach Parker's probably going to go for it here. I mean, unless you got to work on the punt. I mean, they are on the plus side of the 40, and
it looks like they are going to stay on
at this point.
If I'm him, I secure that ball, run forward, try to get the first down, but just make sure you hold on to it.
And here we go. The name of the game for the Tigers right here is to tackle. Okay, a lot of man. Well, that's still going to be fourth down. That's not going to be enough to give them the first down, thankfully. But it is going to make life infinitely harder right here to get a stop on fourth and extremely short here for the Bulldogs. It does look maybe to be it's a long one, Coach. It is a long one right here. Maybe we can get somebody in the backfield and get a stop right here. But the biggest thing with that is that the game clock is still rolling, and we are now under 6 minutes to go in the game. And, Priceville, hats off to you guys this evening. You've done a heck of a job coming in here. And yet again, there we go. Oh, not called. Thank goodness.
I think everybody was kind of us, so they're just going to call a timeout.
And interesting, I think he is going to call a timeout.
Well, I don't know. They're all still set like they may snap it to I didn't know if they might try to direct it to 14 right there, but I guess he's still going to go up here and maybe.
And Graham's going to keep this, and there it is. Big hole yet again. No flag. Forced out of bounds by number 10, Caden Kyle. But that is going to be inside the 10-yard line. First and goal for the Bulldogs. And it is going to be a heat timeout for the fourth quarter.
While we take that heat timeout I don't know if we're going to break or not, but let's thank our championship sponsors for Ardmore football for the 2025 season one more time. That is Wesco, Ardmore Auto, Douthit Construction, Rudaman, Woody Anderson Ford, Elite Sanitation, Jarrett Walker Construction, Butler Realty, North Alabama Bank, Markley Insurance, First National Bank, Ardmore Cabinet, and Fowler Auction. We thank you for your support of the Ardmore Tigers for this football season right here.
Yes, thank you guys for everything that you do for the football program as well as all programs here at Ardmore High School. You see these signs all over football field, baseball field, in the gym for basketball. We really couldn't do what we do as an athletic department if it wasn't for these sponsors. We're very, very thankful for everything, and thank you for the time as well as the monetary donations that come in from them. But here we go, first and goal for Priceville, and Graham flanked by Carroll in the backfield. Handoff goes to Carroll. He is stopped in the backfield. Oh, and we got a blessing. We got a gift right there, Coach. They called stop of forward momentum right there. Austin Kanzler hit him in the hole, and then you look up, and Carroll's in the end zone.
And these coaches to our left were not very happy about that.
No, sir, they were not. But that's been the story of our night. We're not wrapping up. And I am pretty sure that whatever brand jerseys these are, that the Ardmore Tigers may need to look into getting some of these, because these are the slickest jerseys known to mankind.
I feel like they're Adidas.
Adidas. Handoff goes to Carroll. I don't know what we're doing over here. We're trying to have another set of extracurricular activities on this far side, completely away from the play. I try not to call his name, but 22 Kaysen draw ball from Priceville. I don't know if he's trying to just get his name on the stat sheet, but man, he's really trying to start something over there on the far side. Timeout, Ardmore, and I think that Coach Snyder's going to rein in the troops right here and basically say, look, at this point, guys, we're trying to get to the end of the game, and the last thing that we need to do is do something stupid where we're losing guys next week. And yet another key region matchup as we travel to face Fairview. Going to be 3rd and goal from the 5 here. Coach, as we're getting close to the end of the game, if you could, give us one word or a sentence that kind of defines tonight for the Tigers, what would it be for you? I've
kind of been at a loss for words, to be honest with you, just because, the way they have ran it. That's what we are. That's who we are, and I really. We just had a few mistakes tonight that came back and bit us, and like we said in region play, there's not a lot of margin for error, and so it's going to get on film. It's on film. They're going to discuss it, talk about it, have a plan for next week, and you just got to I don't really have a word, but you just got to keep battling and fighting and just bounce back next week.
Graham in the backfield, Carroll and Burnham back there. Oh, we got a ball's out, and it looks like it is recovered right there. Great job by Caden Larson. Fall on that ball. We do finally get a stop right there in the red zone with 4:35 to go in the game. Your Tigers get an Ardmore Telephone Company turnover, and we are going to have 97 yards to go. Coach, I know it's late in the game, and the score's a bit out of hand, but you would love to see if the Tigers could go about 90 yards and get a touchdown here. Again, every opportunity is a learning opportunity. And, I know that you said that you've kind of been a loss for words. I have been too. If I had to pick a word tonight, I think Coach Snyder said it best. I think execution is the word for the night. And it would be great to see us execute right here in this situation because we're going to have long drives. Great job by Javian just to get out of the end zone, and that's going to be 2nd down and about 4 for the Tigers. Again, great job of blocking right there by the Tigers offensive line. Javian just getting out of that end zone. He received it about a yard deep. You don't want to get a safety there, obviously backed up. But let's see what the Tigers can do right here. If Javian and Xavion can run a little bit, it does make Alex King's life much, much easier as we get into passing situations. There you go. And there he is. Javian Riddle breaks it open for a CB&S Bank first down.
Yep.
And they are going to give it a first down. Coach, they are going to give it a first down, you said?
It looks like, yes.
Okay.
They are moving those chains. And, again, this is what we talk about. You get a big stop, get a turnover. We get out of our end zone with a big first down, a few good runs. And again, you use this as positive momentum moving into next week, and you just keep battling. Appreciate the effort and fight out of our kids as they keep battling right here the last 3:39 of the game.
Yes, sir. See Brody Lindsay and Judah Wise in the game. Great cut right there by Riddle, and great tackle made. We've called his name a little bit tonight, Julian Avalos. Jump cut, and he just held on to Javian's ankles and said, you're not going to go anywhere. And he's made life really, really tough for Riddle as we've tried to get to the outside. But like I said, we do have a couple guys, Brody Lindsay, Judah Wise in the game. Jack Rush is still in at tight end. Javian's back there in the backfield. King hands the ball off to Riddle. Great lead block right there by Landry Rubley. And Riddle, come on, Javian. Let's go, buddy. Great job. I think he kind of surprised himself. He broke that tackle. That's going to be a CB&S Bank first down right about the 39-yard line of Ardmore. I'll credit our offense. We haven't had a lot of success on the ground, but both of our running backs have run really, really hard tonight when asked of them. They've not been afraid of contact, and they've just done everything that Coach Wales has asked of them. And at the end of the day, here we are making a little bit of a drive downfield with our worst starting field position of the night. There it is, Landry Rubley again lead blocking.
Great job right there by 70.
And there it is, Riddle. He's tackled by number 54, Cole Oliver, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, Landry Rubley right there, like you said, with a really
good to see number 85, Jaden Dorning, in the game as well. Here we go, number 32, Braden McKnight. Coach, I know we've talked about Tyler tonight, but Braden McKnight, they said he's been toting the rock in the JV games. He's been running physical. Good to see him in the game tonight. Get a few totes this evening. Braden McKnight, hey, and he's not afraid of contact either. Great play right there by Oliver. But McKnight said, here you go. Hey, I'm going to try and run through you regardless. That's going to bring up 3rd down right here. And we're at 1 minute and 38 seconds left in the clock. Coach, are we going to try and get anything post game from the coaches? Or are we're going to leave it after a tough week this week? I didn't go down there last week without you.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I ate a lot of wings at halftime.
Did you?
And I got a little comfortable right here with my 2 cookies, and I don't know if I'm going to try to jump up to get down there.
I feel that great run right here by Braden McKnight, embracing some cover or his blocks and contact right here, and that's going to be another CB&S Bank 1st down for your Tigers. About 1 minute and 7 seconds left on the clock. Just a little bit too little, too late, unfortunately. We did move the ball tonight, folks. I'm not going to sit here and act like we didn't. We just couldn't punch the ball in the end zone. Here we go on replay. McKnight gets the carry right here, getting contact. Boom, there he is. He's met about 6 yards downfield, and he gets to that 1st down. And here we go. King hands it off to McKnight. McKnight's going to follow Landry Rubley again. Tackle made by number 3, Caden Carty. And that may be it, folks. It's 28 seconds left to go on the clock. And, we are going to run another one, Coach. I kind of like to see what's going to happen here. Great job, McKnight. Landry Rubley, that's going to be close to a CB&S Bank 1st down. Yes, it is. CB&S Bank 1st down, and that'll be it, folks. We're going to watch the time tick off the clock. Your Tigers are going to move to 2-1 on the year, 0-1 in Class 5A Region 7. Not a great night of football for the Tigers, but you know what the great thing is? We still have 7 more games on the schedule, 7 more opportunities to get better. 5 of those games are going to be against region opponents. Yeah, we've dug ourselves a little bit of a hole right here, but hey, you go out and you win next week 1-1, and everything is in front of us, Coach. Any takeaways from you tonight as this game moves to its final moments here on the Ardmore Sports Network?
Again, the like you said, we've got to you can't sit back and think on this one for too long. You got to obviously you fix the mistakes that were made, and just be honest with yourself. See, get better from it, and then be ready for Fairview next week. We're staying in region play, and your season your season's not defined by 1 win, 1 loss. You just got to keep battling, keep fighting, and that's what we got to do next week at Fairview. And again, we got a great group of guys that have tasted success. They've made the playoffs, and a seasoned team. So I expect nothing less. I expect them to come out next week with their hair on fire, ready to play against a really good region foe, the region champion last year in Fairview. And so you just got to keep playing and just keep battling and be ready to go next week.
And, Coach, I think the beautiful thing for the people at home, really the question they've been asking themselves all night, are the voices of the HS Sports Network going to be traveling next week? And I think that we both are going to make the road trip to Fairview and bring the HS Sports Network to the road. So thank you to everyone who tuned in this evening here on the AHS Sports Network on both YouTube and Facebook. For Coach Brian O'Donnell and myself, Coach Patrick Cornell, we look forward to seeing you next week as your Ardmore Tigers travel to Fairview for Week 2 of region play. This is Ardmore High School football on the AHS Sports Network.